What's going on, everybody? Yo, what's happening? How y'all doing? Y'all come on in here. We got a watch party. Oh, Candace, life is tough. Get a helmet. Oh man, y'all. I think coming up with using these thumbnails as backgrounds was just absolutely amazing. Man, I'm so glad I thought about that. Shout out to all the mods, all the lucksters, and to all of you all supporters, members, the candy asses, kick rocks. No one cares how you feel. We got a show to watch from Facts Me, the Bride of Chucky, of Candace. Can't make this up. It's like one and the same to me, if you ask me. Let's see here. Oh, I got a few emails that came in. Lord have mercy. Okay. Let's see. What the heck? Ooh. Oh, Sate sent some emails. Okay, I'm just checking my emails right quick, you all, before we get started. Thank y'all so much for coming, tuning in. Make sure you all hit the like button. All right. The Tiara sent a video. This is something else. Hold on. And there are a few videos that we have actually to check out as well. I think we'll do it before we do the watch party. Let's greet everybody. Amy, thank you for becoming a new member, honey. Francisca, back up in here. Hit that like button as you come in and do what Francisca tell you to do. Shout out to all the great mods up in the LLC. Miss Coco up in here. Hit that like button and subscribe. We're on our way to 50,000 supporters. And we will get there. We are getting there. It's a blessing. I'm looking at, the numbers go up every time I refresh. And it is an absolute blessing that you all choose to hang out and tune in. And I just thank you all so, so much. So hit that like button and subscribe. They are free to do. Let's get to this. Oh, Lord have mercy. Jeep Lady, I see you up in there. Tiara, I got your email. I sure did. So Storybox is saying, Francisca, you said you sent me an email. Where is yours, Francisca? I don't. Hold on. Lord have mercy. It just came in like back to back. Okay. Ooh, hold on. Oh, Francisca. She wearing the dress. Oh, y'all. Yeah, we got to put this up. Thank you, Francisca. I got it, girl. We got to put this up. This photo is awesome. We got an update about FDMG fraud DMG. Grass is cut and the 2 bags of trash are finally removed. You know what? I think he's seeing the videos that are being put out by oh man. What you call it go by there? Every single time he says something about FDMG. Every time Oompa Loompa says something about always ready to open and da 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 da. And I think he's seeing these videos of people driving by there. They cut the grass and remove the trash. Doesn't mean they're gonna pass inspection. It's so funny. So we got a few photos from you all. Did you just send in something? Oh no, Miss Coco sent something. Oh, this is too funny. All right, y'all. So I got the photos. We ready to go. We set for it. So let's tune into Jay because this is interesting. A former spy tells everyone to unfollow Candace. You can't make this up. And I honestly agree. I've never subscribed to Candace, but now we avoid even having to do her Like, give her a click or a view. Yesterday we checked out Artie Trolls, who did a, you know, watch party, I guess, on her so-called emergency stream. The only way I can watch her is if I'm watching someone else watching, because otherwise she's intolerable. And I'm like, I know I'm not alone with Candace being an absolute alien and a demon. So Artie Trolls took on the brunt of watching that emergency live stream, and we were able to check out his video. Yeah. He and I both were like, oh my God. Boy, she is insufferable. So someone's saying y'all need to unfollow her. Yeah, that's about right. So we'll get to this. We've got a couple other videos that I have lined up that I do want to share. And then we'll get to the watch party. Y'all hit the 4 where you can see in here. Shout out to the story box. Jay with the story box, always calling her a dingbat. Let's go.
I did not expect to see Lisa Bilyeu from Women of Impact, who is a friend of this show, to get involved with this Candace Owens nonsense attacking Erica Kirk. I think it's a great thing to see someone like Lisa Bilyeu actually have guests on that are quite insightful and quite knowledgeable about all this. Like she had on Everyday Spy, Andrew Bustamante, I believe his name is, who outright tells his audience members to unsubscribe from Candace Owens. Now, I did not expect Lisa, because she's very much into the personal development industry. I did not expect her to start getting involved with politics or these controversial subject matters. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa was on my show a little while back, and I loved our conversation. And to be honest with you, it's she was one of the first people to actually believe in the Storybox way back when, before I had much of an audience. And same with her husband, Tom, from Impact Theory. Now, Tom has been getting more involved with politics, and I think his brain, the way it works, he's a very intelligent man. He reads a lot. He's very knowledgeable, and I enjoy listening to a lot of his podcasts. And I think it's a good thing that more people are starting to get involved and start to talk about what's actually really happening in the world, and especially in the new media landscape. When you have someone like Candace that has a massive audience and a massive following, and the death of Charlie was truly horrendous and tragic, and what Candace has been doing thereafter, it is so good to see people that I have been following for quite some time, like Lisa, like Tom, get involved in more so in the more right kind of context. It's fantastic, I think. So Lisa had on Everyday Spy Andrew Bustamante, who is a former CIA spy. He's been on many of the podcasts before, and I've been watching him for a little while as well. I think we agree on a lot. We also disagree on a lot as well. And I think what he has to say about this, like in terms of, is Erica Kirk a psychopath? He says, no, she's not. And Candace calling her a psychopath, it's just like her looking in a mirror almost and her projecting. So I want to show you guys this clip because it's fantastic. And Andrew telling people to unsubscribe from Candace, that's brilliant. Watch this.
All right. So everything that you have seen and spoken about today, on a scale of 1 to 10, how accurate do you think Candace Owens is on her assessment of Erica Kirk being a psychopath?
1. And I'm giving her 1 because I would never have the hubris to think that I am perfectly correct. There's room for me to be wrong on this, but with what we've reviewed today and with what Candace has said and with the evidence that she pointed to, she is fundamentally flawed. I would say to anybody subscribed to Candace Owens, you owe it to yourself to immediately unsubscribe from Candace Owens.
Oh, wow, you hate her that much?
You don't need to watch any video. You don't need to comment on it. You don't need to like it. You should do everything you can to save your engagement, to keep that kind of opinion from propagating. Everybody's entitled to an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But everything I've seen is that that was a malicious, intentionally malicious opinion intended to do harm by twisting factual clips, videos, and statements from other people. That is what is the worst part of our society. That's not saying Candace Owens is the worst part of our society, but it is saying that Candace has to decide for herself if she is going to amplify malicious and misinformation, or if she is going to dig deeper to find meaningful information. I am nobody compared to you, Candace, but that is bullshit, and you go to sleep at night knowing.
I know you are somebody. Let me tell you something. Yeah, what we're not gonna do is no one should be putting themselves down and making themselves inferior to Candace. Candace has 6 million bots and cult members. No one to tell her the truth. A bunch of yes men around her. And it seems like her relatives are pissed scared of her and they have no spine. Then, I just, not that they need to get involved with everything, but you have no relatives that are coming out and saying, I don't support this. I don't support that. I don't know what she's doing. Except that one cousin. That one cousin that I wonder whose video we want to check out that Nemo covered as well. That one cousin did an interview on Storm Monroe's channel. And that's it. And she debunked Candace lying about being kicked out the house at 14, having issues with her mother. Is it Evelyn Virginia Owens? Virginia Evelyn Owens, one of those. I think it's Evelyn Virginia Owens, right? That cousin said, I don't know where she got that from. My aunt made sure that her 3 girls were always on the up and up. And well taken care of. So Candace lying about her own background goes to show that she's insecure about her life and who she is and where she came from. And yet some of her relatives are connected to Epstein. Go figure. Candace, the Blytons, some of your relatives, are connected to doing business with Jeffrey Epstein. And you keep talking about Epstein. You obsess over dead men. No one is obsessed with Epstein more than Candace at this point. And all for what? For her to get mad once people start saying her relatives are connected to him? Candace, you're not fooling anybody. 6 million bots and supporters does not mean that you have a following where people should be putting themselves down and making themselves feel inferior. You're not inferior to her. You're more important than she is. Especially having been former CIA. That's awesome. That's what Candace aspires to be. She wished she could be a CIA investigator. She has to impersonate one and fake it. So actually, you hold a lot more clout and leverage than she does. Anyone who is knowledgeable of the law is a step up from Candace Owens, the dumb alien. She has no idea what she admitted to yesterday. We covered that in the live stream about her intentionally withholding evidence in a murder case, a heinous felony. Talking about I've been sitting on evidence. Really? But not giving it to law enforcement? Yeah, okay, keep on with all that obstruction. It's going to backfire bigly. So never ever put yourself down for the likes of Candace. No one owes her a damn thing. Candace is inferior to us. That's why she watches us. That's why you watch, you dumb alien. I want you to pay attention. You can't make this up.
That you put this stuff out, knowing that there's a better way, and she owes it to all of us to have more journalistic integrity when she puts out an opinion like that. That is a moral responsibility for anybody who has even one person listening to them.
Exactly.
That based on the evidence that we reviewed today, that was poison from Candace Owens.
Oh.
How accurate is Candace Owens' assessment of Erica Kirk being a psychopath? And Andrew gives her a 1. 1 out of 10. That's how accurate Candace Owens is because to be honest with you, Candace herself is actually the psychopath. If you want to have malicious intent towards someone who's not actually a psychopath and actually a good person, and you have a former spy, a CIA spy, very highly trained, I'd imagine, to spot psychopaths and deal with psychopaths. Look at the situation that is unfolding between Candace and Erica, and you can see that Candace has been going after Erica with malicious intent to disrupt, to destroy, and to, well, put Erica in this place of severe demise.
Candace wants Erica Kirk dead. She loathes that woman. She is completely vindictive. She is scorned. Candace Owens is a woman scorned and wants Erica Kirk dead. I will not mince words with that. I'm going to keep telling the truth about it because that's exactly what it is. She wants Erica Kirk dead. Dead. And I've been saying for now 7 months that Erica Kirk should have already gotten a protection and or restraining order issued against Candace Owens a long time ago. The moment she admitted to having direct sources and contacts living in her building, eyes and ears watching her, listening, monitoring her every move, she admitted to stalking, which is a class 3 or 5 felony in the state of Arizona. Erica Kirk does not owe Candace anything. You never have to say her name again, Erica Kirk. But you need to use wisdom and guard yourself. And then if she violates that protection order or restraining order, then you can have her held in contempt. And from there, she continues to show contemptuous behavior. And the courts find that she is in contempt. Then it becomes a criminal matter. And we all know how Candace does not want to go to court and takes litigations like a joke. Get her attention. And you keep on if you want to. It's going to get a protection restraining order and dare you to violate it. And then see what happens. Wouldn't cost much at all. She could do it pro se. Erica Kirk wouldn't even need an attorney for that. It wouldn't be hard. You talking about you have eyes and ears on her everywhere she goes, and you've got sources of direct contact living in her building. And she wants people to believe that Erica Kirk is the psychopath. No, Candace Owens is the psychopath for the idea of thinking that everyone would be cool with her stalking Erica Kirk. Why are you stalking another grown woman that lives in an entirely different state than you? You got sources and direct contacts living in her residential building? For what? That's an invasion of privacy, a complete invasion of privacy. She has called for Erica Kirk to be jailed, at the very least interrogated, where there has been no crime committed. And yet, Candace admits to sitting on evidence and withholding intentionally, while impersonating investigators. All these felonies happening at the same time with her. And she has the audacity to call Erica Kirk a psychopath. It's complete projection. I've been saying this for months. And the longer she goes unchecked, the longer Erica Kirk waits to drop a lawsuit on her ass or to get that protection or restraining order or an injunction for harassment issued against her from a court of law, the worse it's going to get. And she's not going to stop because right now she believes that she's acting with impunity. What is the consequence to Candace right now? And to the mods, you all have opportunity and permission to remove trolls. We want to have healthy conversations flowing in the chat. They come in and say the same old thing. They add nothing new to the conversation because they're stuck on stupid. Do not bring down the IQ of my chat. You don't have any factual information to provide. Just because you think you have free speech, it does not mean we do not have the right to not read your bullshit either. We don't have to. So if you get these trolls up in here, kick them out. They can't add something new. If the trolls can't manage to copy and paste something else inspiring, and they're just repeating themselves, kick them out. I'm not in the mood. It makes no sense. That they show you how stupid they are, because that's how stupid Candace is. Candace, your dumb coats are still dumb. But Erica Kirk got to show her, listen, I don't have to sit here and go back and forth with you on social media. Now I'm going to go to court and handle you there. And we all know how she handles litigation. But Erica Kirk is going to have to do something. Otherwise, this is going to continue to go on. God is not going to get mad because you put a protection or restraining order against her. Do what you need to do. And tell the police she's got sources and contacts living in my building. Can y'all please investigate, find out who these morons are? I should not have to uproot my life because Candace Owens is a psychopath. I am going to have some peace today. Going to have some peace up in here. That's how Erica Kirk should be living. In peace. You got an ex-CIA saying, unfollow this psychopath. Don't absorb that shit in your head. You got to guard your mind. Guard your ears. Guard your mouth. Be more responsible for what information you take in. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. It's so funny how Candace and her cult members always talking about Christ as king, but can't not live up to one scripture in the Bible. Don't absorb Candace like that. I'm going to keep my foot on her neck. So yes, I am going to talk about you, Candace. It does not mean I have to subscribe or watch her videos like that. I enjoy this. I enjoy hearing other people's perspective on how crazy this dumb demon is. And hopefully it will inspire Erica Kirk to really get out and go and sue her. And utilize the resources you have at your disposal. And that is right now the law. And if it takes the law to put Candace in check for the protection of you and your children, Erica Kirk, do what needs to be done. But let it be done. Don't sit back and just think, oh, it's going to go away. No, it's not.
That's what it comes down to. And he said at the very end, you owe it to yourself and to your audience members. If you got one follower, you owe it to that one follower to do the morally right thing. Not to lead your followers astray, to do the morally right thing. It's what I've been trying to do with this show for quite some time. To do the morally right thing. It may not be easy, but it's right and it's good to do. And unfortunately, we have so many people that are willing to do the disgusting thing for the sake of clicks because it boosts their audience. And like I said in the very beginning, it's good to see Lisa Bilyeu promote the good. Promote someone like Andrew Bustamante that can call out Candace Owens, put her in her place, and to have a massive audience like Lisa does. And I imagine that there would be people in Lisa's audience that follows Candace. You owe it to yourself, like Andrew said, to unsubscribe, to not follow her, to not interact with any of her content. And like they were going through all the horrible things that Candace Owens has been saying. The other day when she made that emergency podcast and she was wanting Erica to live a long, happy, prosperous life, to outlive everyone. That is psychotic behavior. It's like what I was referring to, that scene in The Princess Bride at the end with Wesley and Prince Humperdinck. Same thing. But Erica's done nothing wrong. So the fact that Candace is trying to frame Erica as being this horrible person that's involved in human trafficking, she's a groomer, she's all these things. And what's worse is that Erica somehow knew about her husband's death. Malicious intent. And it is doing harm. It is doing damage to not just Erica, but Turning Point and so many people that are following Candace. You're leading all of them astray. Leading all of them astray. So I think we owe it to ourselves not just to continuously call out Candace Owens, but to not interact with her content. Like, I will call out the things that she's saying because that's the right thing to do, but I'm not interacting. I'm not giving her the views. I'm not giving her any of the likes. None of that stuff. I'm not subscribed to her. You unsubscribe. You don't like any of her stuff. You see it, and then you call it out. But you don't give her what she wants. She wants more people to amplify the hate, and we won't give her that. I won't. And I hope you guys won't. Unsubscribe from Candace. Be done with her. Good on Andrew. Good on Lisa. And I hope that more people start calling her out and doing the right thing. Hey, man, it's more than what Michael Knowles is doing. That's for sure.
Hey, mister. Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough from me. You guys take care. Be blessed. And I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, Jay, I love ya. Y'all, we have always supported the story box here. I have shown several of his videos and even wanted to have him join us over here in the LLC. Not sure what's going on or what has transpired, but still would love for him to join us in the LLC if he wants. And I've always been a huge fan. As you all can see, I am subscribed to him. So, but we are definitely, supportive of the story box. And I agree exactly with what he said. And what he is saying is 100%. I'm going to continue to put my foot on her neck because I don't owe Candace anything. Candace can kick rocks. I see the smaller channels. I see you all's content. I see what you're doing. We know you do, Heifer. I know you watching. I told her cult members that they didn't believe me. Of course they see it. They send her my clips. They send her stuff. And then they think somehow other content creators can't get information. Candace. Girl. I'll say this. If I wanted to dox Candace, I could have a long time ago. I have no desire to do that because there are 4 small children living in that house. But when George is out here getting DUIs and that information is becoming public record, and Laura had to luma your behind, with that came your house being put out there. Because that's public information now. People can look that up and see that. Candace, you out here doing some grimy stuff, George. Boy, they're involved in a few horrible things. Candace, the last thing you need to be doing is stalking someone and committing a felony. But you can't keep up with George. George, come out the closet. It's high time. Oh, let's switch over. we have a few videos. I wanted to get in this right here because I want you all to see the,
So
the cousin, right? There's a cousin that did the interview. Enterprise Entertainment is who I was thinking of earlier that went by FDMG. Sorry about that. Enterprise Entertainment. But the cousin of Candace did an interview on Storm Monroe's YouTube channel and basically called Candace out for the lies she told about her upbringing. And so Nemo did a video. It's like 26 minutes where her cousin is exposing her. People need to see this. Her own relatives are exposing her. Like, I wish more of them would come out and say something and stop sitting here being scared of Candace. That whatever little money she giving you to buy that house and car, whatever else she doing, can't be a whole lot. Y'all know what she's doing is horribly wrong and is putting Erica Kirk's life in danger with her 2 children. Stop being some punks and speak out. This makes no sense. There is no way her mama is looking at her videos and saying, yeah, this is a good thing you're doing. There's no way. Is Candace Owens' mother alive? Because if she is, she cannot be sitting back saying, oh, I'm so proud of you, Candace, in your shows. As a mom, I would be like, girl, what are you doing? You know, you sound like a bitter woman. And you married, you got a husband. What you can't even tell us what his schedule is like. But it sounds like you've been stalking and watching Charlie and Erica Kirk for years. You got sourcing and direct contacts living in their residential building. What you mean? Like, her mom should be really getting in her ass right now. Like, none of this sounds right. You got 4 kids. When you have time for all this? You would think Candace's mother would be getting in her butt about this and be able to see her videos and say, I don't know what you're doing. But this is disgusting. You are a married woman. I've seen videos of you letting some woman kiss you all over the face. It looks like my son-in-law is happy and squeezed up with some boy. And then you got the audacity to go after Erica Kirk like this, and this woman lost her husband. Where is Candace Owens' mother? To give her wisdom and counsel. And to say what you're doing is wrong. The way you're going after this mother and this now widow is wrong. Where is Evelyn Virginia Owens? Because even if you reach out to your daughter and say, Candace, you got to stop, and she hangs up, at least you told her the right thing. Even if you got to come out in the video, come over here to the Lady Luck Club. If you're going to put your foot in her ass, I'll let you. I will give you a platform for Evelyn Virginia Owens to go clean off on her daughter about how she's been attacking another woman who is now catching more death threats and kidnapping threats because of your child. Evelyn Virginia Owens, your daughter is putting another grown woman who has kids life in danger and causing her to catch more death threats and kidnapping threats, not just for Erica Kirk, but the kids. The kids are catching death threats and kidnapping threats. You have some sick, sadistic, sycophant cult members of your child, Candace Owens, that want to take the life of Erica Kirk and 2 minor children that have done nothing wrong to them. You have got to say something. Or else people should be questioning your mental status. My mother would have whooped my ass. I'm gonna be like, what you think you doing? You gonna sit here and go after what? You going after this girl like this? My mother would literally say, what did this child, what did Erica Kirk do to you? You sound like you're angry at her. Like you got all this anger and angst and hate and vitriol. You're gonna have to forgive her and move on. You have to talk about something else. My mama would be telling me that. My mama would be literally hopping in my chats. You all right? You need to call me. If I'm out here saying things that's putting another woman's life in danger and she's got kids, if for nothing else, for the sake of these two minor children, leave her alone. You don't like her? Okay, well, why talk about her? I just don't understand where Candace's mother is and why she can't get on her daughter's ass about her putting another grown woman's life in danger to where it's affecting the children as well. You are a mother, Evelyn Virginia Owens. Call Candace and get in her ass and stop letting this happen. Who's her aunts? Where are her sisters at? Her relatives just sit back and they cool with all this. They can't say, no, girl, you need to stop. This girl getting death threats. Candace got a huge family if you let her and her cousin tell it. And we about to. Y'all about to hear it? So more family members mean more people listening, more opportunities for somebody to call her ass out that can get her ear. Seems like Candace gonna do what she want to do either way, but at least somebody can be a little bit more responsible and say, "But you're not gonna just do what you want to do and think we're gonna support you for it. Well, no, we're not gonna support your ass at all. We're gonna ostracize you. We're gonna condone all this, and we're gonna tell you to kick rocks. You can be mad until Jesus returns. We don't care. What you're doing is wrong. This girl is catching death threats, and you're not helping any of that. You don't like her? You don't have to. Leave her alone. Stop saying her name. They won't even tell her that. So all Candace's relatives are punk asses. Candace gonna get locked up. She go out and think she gonna physically fight somebody and try to blame the pregnancy. They gonna lock her ass up. Then they'll be running around here trying to, well, don't judge her. No, we're not judging her. We just gonna keep going off. We're gonna keep putting our foot on her neck. Candace got to lie about somebody trying to assassinate her. Erica Kirk does not. But when Erica Kirk is like, I'm getting death threats, these dumb demons and this dumb alien sit here and laugh and scoff at it. And where's Candace's relatives? Where's her mother, her aunts, her sisters? The real men in her life, her relatives, to tell her, you need to back off this girl. Where they at? Are they enjoying her money too much? Is she paying them to stay silent? She's like, listen, I earned $50 million. I'll give y'all some money. Nobody do interviews. Just shut the hell up and act like I'm not saying anything. They cannot be this impervious and this blind and this naive. It's pathetic. So let's get to this, y'all. I want you all to check this out. It's 26 minutes long. Let's go. Hit the 4 when you can see in here.
So much time hating me.
Does Candace Owens hate black people? Let me just be frank.
She was around more white people. All her friends was white. All the guys she ever dated. I don't think I ever known Candace to ever date a black dude.
Creating a caricature of Candace Owens.
Candace hates trans people, gay people, the LGBT.
But what do you think about same-sex marriage?
It's a sin.
Candace capping on the gay stuff.
Like, you're not no cousin of Candace Owens.
God is good.
Amen.
I've never seen that before, ever in my life.
This 3-year-old interview by Candace Owens' cousin, allegedly, is very insightful, and I thought to share some of the key points which I found completely interesting and also contradicting when it comes to Candace Owens' point of view, especially with family, regards to the LGBT community, with regards to the black community and her love or hate for it, and many other aspects regarding her family
Exactly.
dynamics and growing up in a white
Right.
space, according to her cousin. And if evidence is anything in the internet or whatever she says, I think we can take her cousin's words with some validity. And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am allegedly Nemo. Please click the like button, share, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I hope you like it here. Let's get into it. In order to get the full perspective of this interview, I encourage you to go watch the full interview on Storm Monroe's channel, and you will enjoy the full dynamics of the two of them with this interview. Also, I reached out to Nesta in order to understand a few key issues or situations which I did not understand from this interview, and that conversation ended when I sent her a link to my channel. So,
Tell the people who you are and who you're related to.
Okay. Well, my name is Nesta Rose, and I'm the first cousin of Candace Owens.
First cousin of Candace Owens, political commentator. Now look, people. Hey, even when I was contacted, I was like, "You're not no cousin of Candace Owens," and then you showed me the proof.
Yeah, first cousins. Yep. Our moms are sisters.
Yeah, y'all moms are sisters, and you said that actually she has her. You said her dad's last name and not y'all last name. How does that work?
Yeah. Candace got her dad last name. We all was born with the same last name.
She is asked about if Candace Owens, which is a very juicy question online, if Candace Owens hates Black people. Now, we are going to take what she says regarding her sister, her cousin, and also I will play some clips that expresses Candace Owens' views on the Black community. She has always thought the Black community is the most talented, the most funny, and there are also other views that she has about the Black community that has led others to think that she actually does not like the Black community, the community from which she comes from, and others to think she absolutely is rooting for the Black community, which is why she's able to say those things out loud. And there are also others who sit on the fence saying, well, maybe she's just saying the things that are uncomfortable, and that's why many people don't like her telling those thoughts out loud. Let me let what she had to say and then what Candace Owens had to say, and you let me know in the comment section where you fall in the spectrum regarding Candace Owens' relationship with the Black community.
A lot of people want to know, man, does Candace Owens hate Black people? Let me just be frank.
No, Candace Owens don't hate Black people. Well, what I would say with Candace is very much a.
Thank you so much, Amy, for the $4.99 super. Hey, LLC, just want to say I appreciate you standing up for truth. Let's keep fighting. I won't be happy until Candace is twitching in the corner. If she knucks and she bucks while she's pregnant and thinks she's going to get in a physical fight and blame it on the baby, she'll go to jail. Thank you so much, Amy, for that $4.99 super. I appreciate it. Shout out to you. Did y'all notice that she said that she was born? They all have the last name Rose, right? Candace's last name is Owens because her dad's last name was Owens. So her mom got married. But it sounds like everyone else is Rose. Nesta Rose is her name. Y'all see that? Rozay. And so Nemo tried to reach out to her. And when she sent the link to her channel to Nesta Rose, then Nesta Rose stopped talking to her. You got to realize everybody's not going to sit here and just kiss your cousin's ass. Especially when they're just playing clips of what your cousin is saying. And you're not questioning your cousin for the horrible things she's saying. And this is a cousin that's supposed to be the one Candace is used to be intimidating to others. I don't know if you all noticed that and put that two and two together. This is a cousin she claims can't stand her guts that she keeps around to sit and I guess mean mug and look like her big buff security or something. This is supposed to be that cousin. Funny how that plays out, huh? There's nothing intimidated about her. She just has braids and dreads and wears hats. She's also gay. So Candace's views on gay and LGBTQ it's all a ruse. As her cousin just said, she be capping on that LGBTQ stuff. Because she of course she's lying. She would have to denounce her cousin. Candace has never done that. Boy, it's funny how that hypocrisy, Candace, you try to make it seem like it's only one way. Yeah, no. Are you gonna denounce your cousin, Candace? Because you would have to denounce Nesta Rose. You would have to do that in order to be consistent. I can't understand how she lasted this long in conservative or Republican Party at all. I just can't see how she lasted this long.
Where and know that she's black. She of course her whole family's black. You know what I mean? So she has been around black people. But as far as on her daily base, like growing up on a daily basis in her life, she was around more white people. You know what I mean? She grew up in Connecticut. So, all her friends was white, all the guys she ever dated. I don't think I ever known Candace to ever date a black dude. Like her sisters, like her sisters that date black dudes, things like that. But Candace, I never seen her with a black dude. And people don't know either. Like, I want to get the record straight, kind of with that too. Our grandfather is, if you look at him, he looked like a white man. With that being said, we have pure white, like close cousins. So, we're probably more white than anything, to be honest with you. So I just really think she's probably she always did identify, in that aspect. So, even since we were kids, I remember having conversations, things like that. Cause I always thought it was kind of weird, she would be a little white girl, you know what I mean? Things like that too. Okay. But she always been like that. Is she not fronting? She not putting on. She literally always been like that.
She had very interesting thoughts regarding Candace Owens' likeness for the Black community. But there was something she said that was particularly intriguing to me. Listen to this again.
We're probably more white than anything.
That was very interesting because, it is okay to understand she's saying they had a grandfather who was light-skinned so much that he looked like a white person. Someone being light-skinned does not make them a white person, right? Facts, right? But
she said they're more white than anything. Y'all see that? How you more white than anything? How does this go? They're more white than anything? Of what nationality, may I ask? I mean, there are white people in Africa. I'm not saying there are white people that live in South Africa. What race are you referring to? You saying you're more white than anything? Can you cite the nationality or race? Because, you don't look white. But now Candace sits here and talks about her being a black woman and, everybody's attacking me now because I'm a black woman and the blah, blah, blah. No, your cousin say you're more white than anything. So can you imagine if George heard it? I'm sure George had to see this and like, what does that mean? What do you mean you're more white than anything? What does that mean? Is your cousin serious? Can she explain this? My parents are going to ask so many questions. I don't think George fully understood or knew what he was getting himself into when he agreed to this lavender marriage. Candace, your husband is gay.
They are probably more white than anything. That sang a lot of alarm bells into my head. I'm asking myself, how can a woman who is fully black, her family fully black, like she has concluded and asserted in this interview, tell us that they are probably more white than anything? More white than anything means they're more white than even black, right? And that was very interesting.
That's so weird.
Told me a little bit about the dynamics of the families and their relationship to race and other things. Let me know what you thought about this. Well, she said Candace Owens has never dated a black person. Well, given the community she grew up in, I'm not sure the community was devoid of black people. Probably she has a preference for white people. I remember there was a time I saw an interview where she said, when she was still working at PragerU, she said she always mostly dated Asian men, and she probably thought she was going to marry an Asian man. So it has always been Asian and white for her. And I'm not judging you, girl, but I don't know. I don't think it was like there was no black person there, that she could have even dated one black person in her life.
Her sisters both married black men, so it's at least 2 black men who were in her area. I don't understand. I would love for her cousin to clarify we're more white than anything. Well, explain that. What does that mean?
Tell me what you think about that in the comment section. And the aspect of this lady saying that they are probably more white than anything because they have one grandfather who is light skinned and looks a little bit whitish. That was jarring, to say the least, to me. And we are going to look at more things she had to say here.
But most of them, 90% of our family, they don't really agree with what she got going on. So they just rather stay away from it. And then, you know, like I said, again, we just really don't like the spotlight, even though we are known like
disrespectful. And so you mess around here, comment, and you be like, you know what, I'm finna pull up.
Well, she had a lot of thoughts regarding their family dynamics and how they.
Can you all hear me and see me? Like I was cycling for a minute. Hit the 4 if y'all can see it here. Hit the 4 if y'all can see in here. Hit 4. Okay, cool. Mother Earth, that marriage is a business arrangement. Oh yeah, it's definitely a lavender marriage. Candace wanted somebody with money, and he wanted somebody that can help him get connected to TPUSA. Otherwise, he could have married any female that John Mappin hooked him up with. I don't think George was just out of options of what woman to marry. They saw Candace as someone coming up in the conservative movement, working at TPUSA, getting attention, being loud and charismatic. And they was like, oh yeah, she would be a good choice for George Farmer. She can have babies? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So we'll make that happen. And now she can't even tell you what he does day by day. Candace can't even tell you what George Farmer does day by day. And she's allegedly married to him. And they got 4 kids together on baby number 5. And she can't tell you what he does day by day. But she can tell you exactly what Charlie Kirk did for a whole year leading up to the day he was shot. Make it make sense. Can't make this up. I think they're wanting, they want to act as if they're white, but then that's like, okay, what does that mean? What does that look like? Why not be proud to be black? This is why I laugh when people come at me talking about, like the comment I showed you all yesterday on X, talking about black on black hate. Candace doesn't even want to be black. So what the hell are you talking about? Her cousin just said, we're more white than anything. So there's no black on black hate. There's no hate either. Candace is the only one using the word hate. I never said I hated her. I said she's going to jail. That has nothing to do with hate. That's a violation of law. If she bucks and gets into a physical fight, she will go to jail. But Candace would rather be more white than anything. Can you imagine Candace watching this interview and it's like, wait, what? So there is no black on black anything. Because Candace, according to her cousin, is more white than anything. Candace isn't black. she's also not human. Like, I don't sit here and worry about what an alien thinks. Who gives a damn? We're trying to find a way to get her off our planet. This dumb alien crash landed on our planet in our country, and somehow I'm supposed to think about how she feels? I do not. What you mean? Candace would rather be more white than anything, according to her cousin. They grew up together, and they still hang out together. This is the cousin she uses to scare everybody. And no one's scared. Your dreads do not scare anybody. Can't make this stuff up. This little clown wouldn't be able to hang. Girl, you wouldn't last 2 minutes in my neighborhood. ridiculous. So anyone saying, "Oh, well, you're black and she's black"? No. Let me reference this video. Her and her cousin both agree that they're more white than anything. So that has not. She is, according to Candace and her cousin, they're not black. They just suntanned.
relate to each other. But what I could gather from everything she said is Candace Owens is the standout family member who is a little bit away from the family because of her upbringing, her family relations and other things. She is less close-knit than the rest of the cousins and sisters than most of them. So, and there was also another point about their grandfather or something, which we're going to get into later on because it was very interesting. I didn't get the full point of it. I did not understand what was going on there. And that was one of the main reasons why I reached out to Candace Owens' cousin to clarify something like that. I did not get the dynamics of what she was talking about when she was referencing the grandfather and the grandmother. But let me now play, just to be fair to Candace, clips of her telling us exactly how she feels about the Black community. A few things here. There is a lot more on the internet, definitely, but just a few clips to give a perspective of how she sees the Black
Do you think Black people are too stupid to get a driver's license?
Why would you call Black people
Because
stupid?
to me, I'm offended that people call
You're
that.
Black.
No, I'm asking you
You're
something.
Black.
I'm asking you something. I'm
You're
offended
Black.
when people say to me that oppresses us. I'm like, I don't know a single Black person that doesn't have ID. You can't drive. You can't buy a pack of cigarettes. You can't buy alcohol. Don't think we're so stupid that we can't figure out how to get ID. It's insulting.
Candace, you're just stupid. I mean, you know, that's pretty much what we've all figured out. Candace Owens is stupid. Candace, you're stupid. And the word is pronounced bureau. Accolades. Oh, I can go on with that forever. Candace is the stupid one. This is how she debates. Let me get all pumped up and then it becomes like, let me just throw out a bunch of words that I know how to pronounce or not. You all keep treating us like every time she goes in, she's always talking about how people think that we're stupid, that I'm stupid. They call me an idiot. They say I'm retarded. Candace, because you are. The quicker you realize that, Candace, you know, the better off you'll be with that. I don't know what else to tell you. You are an idiot. No one told you to act like this. You could change and read a book. She refuses to pronounce words properly. Candace, what's 4 times 3?
To call that voter suppression.
Okay.
It's insulting.
What about the closing? And
Do you know a
and
single Black
what
person
about-
that doesn't
what
have
about-
ID?
Yeah, I do.
Girl, go on with the go on with the conversation. You asking questions on something. You've already made your point. Move on.
I actually do.
Really?
What about because
I don't know a single Black person that have ID.
To get
I understood how it was plausible that Black people have been voting Democrat, that we just thought that we had to be Democrats because they were Black, that we just assumed that liberals had our best interests at heart. And
Rather assign meaning to a homicidal maniac than to actually address the things that I said today that are actually harming Black America. Number 1, father absence. Number 2, the education system and the illiteracy rate. Illegal immigration ranks high, abortion ranks high, white supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it.
Why 100 things and it wouldn't make the list at like between 70 to 100? See, this is how she speaks so vaguely and ambiguous. A list of 100 things. You can't even say 100 words that are different. Candace cannot even quote 100 words that are all different. If she says 100 words, it's because she's repeating most of them over and over again. The hell you mean? 100 things. Give us 100 words out of the dictionary and spell it. This is coming from someone who did not know how to pronounce the word beret. Yeah, come on.
This hearing, in my opinion, is a farce.
how does the government seize more power for itself? Well, they have to shrink the families. They have
The real reason that nobody ever talks about Asians is because they're actually the most successful people in this country.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's true, and there's a reason why. You know, so they always try to pit Black versus white. So you hear things like, white people are more likely.
Black people are actively learning their history wrong in school.
You can't say that because you are more white than black. Remember, that's what your cousin said. If anything, you're more white than black, right? So you trying to represent black people is comical. You damn alien. How dare you crash land in our country and hate the United States? Talk about how the U.S. should be like Russia. No, we should not. And then you want to sit here and speak for black people while you would rather be more white than black? But I don't understand. Candace is a ball of confusion, just like the devil. Creates nothing but chaos and confusion everywhere she goes and leaves the trail of slime from her yeast infection all over the place.
Public school system essentially just works to, it's a propaganda system. It works to indoctrinate black youth against things that will ultimately help them. I had an idea that if we could attack those three verticals, we could forever change America. We could forever change Black America. We could get them to start focusing and understanding where we went wrong.
The criticism that I often get, Candace, how can you support your answer to that is, how could you think that that represents my community? My community is not a group of men that do drugs. It's not a group of men who taser police officers. It's not a group of men who assault police officers or don't want to listen to basic instructions. My community is the larger American.
Yeah, according to your cousin, your community, it doesn't consist of a lot of black people in it. So once again, you're trying to speak on behalf of a sector of black people that you have no experience with. Your cousins say you live mostly around white people in white neighborhoods. Went to school with mostly white kids. You have no idea what Black America is like. And you think she would try to sit down and discover that, right? No, she just came up with Brexit to be able to bring in money and spend it on stupid stuff like security details and Parler Inc.
Community, the community built of law-abiding citizens who want to make sure that they can raise their children and their families in a country that they recognize, in a country that is not run by radicals, in a country that is free of autonomous cities, and
in a country that is not like Russia. We don't play that shit over here. We are the United States of America. And in this country, we don't need to be like Russia. I don't know why you just won't leave and go over there and stay your ass over there in Russia. This traitor talking about in a country where people are free and not blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she hates the U.S.
States being built of radical individuals and socialists screaming and demanding justice and setting fires and rioting and looting businesses.
There's nothing that gets Black liberals more upset with me than when I talk about the success of Black immigrants from Africa, academically, in their careers, professionally.
Why would Black, she said Black liberals get upset about that? Why would Black liberals get upset with that? This is coming from the alien that crash landed on our planet. Why would a Black liberal get
liberals more upset with me than when I talk about the success of Black?
Why would Black people in general get mad at anyone talking about success of Black people? What do you mean? Candace was, listen, let me tell y'all something. Once again, I don't know how conservative Republicans, anybody embrace her this long. If y'all don't kick her to the wayside, you better. That has to be the biggest load of BS I've ever heard. And yet she continues to try to speak on behalf of Black people while talking about the U.S. should model to be more like Russia. What are you talking about? The only reason why they were nice to you over there is because you have money and you have a huge platform of 6 million bots and cult members. Candace, you can't go over there talking about you gonna dox people. Good luck to that. This is coming from a traitor who could care less about the U.S. overall, let alone Black people in it. This is coming from the same person that bled Blexit out of over 1.72 million plus some. A nonprofit that was supposed to help Black communities understand conservative values, to get them out at the polls to vote. And for 3 good fiscal years, Blexit did none of that. She spent money on security details and put them under LLCs, one of which went to Parlor Inc. And now you have people not even trying to question her about it. She's never been put under investigation for how she bled through that money from Blexit. Not one investigation on it or audit.
Immigrants from Africa academically, in their careers, professionally. I think Nigerian Americans are the most successful immigrant group. And I'm sitting here looking at this going, guys, don't tell me that it's because this country's racist.
Right.
We've got some culture issues. And that's why I went into that in my book, because I was like,
what advice do you have, like, as a young Black guy that's always like, how the world always seems like, Black people are always like, you always gotta face this, face that. What advice can you tell me that, like, what advice can you, tell me that what I can, like, help me face the world,
the first advice that I would give you, and it's the best advice that I ever received in my life, and I think I got it from myself, is to not see yourself as Black and to see yourself as an American. My entire world.
Don't see yourself as Black, see yourself as an American. Meanwhile, this dumbass is saying that Americans should be like Russians. Oh, man, no. The devil is a liar. We will not. Oh, my God. I don't know any Black people walking around here saying that either, except Candace. I wonder how her relatives and this cousin feel about that. You went to Russia? You think we should be like Russia? What's wrong with you? Does her cousin have any thoughts about that? Because now Candace says she would rather be Russian than American. Go figure. In what? The span of 5 or 6 years? This dumb heifer has managed to go from don't be Black, be American to I would rather be Russian than American. This is what Candace Owens has said in her show. We clipped it 6 months ago. Because you just can't make this up. This is absolutely, it's crazy. Oh my God, what's going on? Can you all see me and hear me? What's the shadow banning? Child. YouTube is deleting comments. Nikki, I see your comments. Oh, good Lord. What is shadow ban? Candace, get your ass out of my chat. He ain't got nothing to say. Candace probably big man. I see you, Nikki, for freedom. That's what I was asking earlier because I saw the live stream cycling. I was like, wait, can y'all see and hear me? If y'all can see and hear me, let me know. I just want to make sure. Sometimes YouTube gets dumb and they start removing comments and all this stuff. That's why I said to the mods in the last live, if you want, please, we're not doing these dumbass shows today. They keep repeating themselves and trying to dumb down my chat. We're not putting up with it today. If you don't have anything useful to add, then kick rocks. I mean, you don't have to be over here. Okay. You can see me, see. Okay, cool. All right, as long as y'all can see and hear me. God. All right, thank you, Mr. Boston. How you doing, honey? Yeah, it's Candace here. It's something else. I wonder how her mother would feel about her saying that she would rather be Russian now, as opposed to just American, or even Black American. And yet her cult members, and this is how you know you got these dumbass bots, probably from Russia, sitting here trying to incite this racial, bias. Well, it's got to be, isn't this considered black on black crime, black on black hate? No, because your dumbass cult leader would rather be Russian and said that she's more white than anything else. So no, it's absolutely not. Candace can't even be happy with herself and who she is. She certainly does not talk about her genetic lineage or her bloodline. It's like she's embarrassed. It's like Candace looks in the mirror and hates what she sees. A black alien that does not belong here. She's not happy with herself. So if anybody hates anybody, Candace Owens hates herself. She hates the color of her skin. I guess she hates the fact that she's American and a woman. Because otherwise, why would you even want to say you would rather be Russian? Like, get out of here then. Get out of here. No one's forcing her to be here. No one forced Candace to come back. She can stay her ass over there.
World changed when I had my awakening, as I like to describe it. I believed that Republicans were racist and backwards, that I couldn't walk into those rooms and do anything because I was meant to believe those things. If you view yourself as a victim, you become your own oppressor. It's a mental prison. You can't get ahead. You're constantly thinking people are seeing you because of the color of your skin. All we are doing is preventing people from going out in the world and trying something.
Let me know what your thoughts are regarding what she said in the comment section. I would like to hear them.
Yeah,
another thing that was discussed during this interview was the aspect of the LGBT community. And to lay the groundwork for this, Candace Owens' cousin, the one doing this interview, she is gay, and she says her twin is gay, and there are a couple of gay family members in her family. And so they were asking her, what do you think about Candace Owens' views on gayness and things like that? And here was her response.
So, okay, this is something that I was definitely interested in too. If you listen to the streets say that Candace hates trans people, gay people, the LGBT. Can you speak on that at all?
Before she gives us her response, I would like you to hear what Candace Owens herself says about this, because Don Lennon asked her about it, because Don Lennon is gay too and is married to a man. This is what Candace had to say before we go into the response of her cousin.
But what do you think about same-sex marriage?
It's a sin.
You think it's a sin? So you think I'm
It is a sin.
sinful?
What's that?
You think I'm sinful because I'm married to a man?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, you're sinning. You are in a sinful relationship. I actually don't believe marriage can be between two men.
Because of the shit she say, let's be honest, is that what you're asking? Like, because she say crazy stuff? No, that's a front. That's what, remember when I said earlier, Candace, some things Candace be capping on? Candace be capping on that. Candace capping on the gay stuff. Let's be honest. Like, I'm gay, my twin gay, we got a couple uncles that's gay, we got little cousins that's gay, you know what I mean? Things like that. And one thing I can say about my family, everybody always been, we never judge. We never, grew up to, judge anyone, things like that. Clearly, we don't even judge her. You know what I mean? Look at her. You know what I mean? But nah. She capping on that. You know what I mean?
They don't even judge her.
As far as trans,
Candace. Now you gonna explain to us this woman that was kissing all over your face or what? I mean, how can you judge her? Is she out here letting women kiss all over her face? I'm just saying, Candace. Are you going to ever tell us who the woman is? Because it wasn't Savannah. Savannah was the other girl in the video, right? Her cousin said clearly we don't even judge her. Boy, everything is fake and gay, Candace, ain't it? You can't make this stuff up. Oh, everything is fake and gay, Candace. Your cousin said they don't even judge you. Yeah, okay, well, keep on talking. We're listening.
Maybe that's different because that's new to everybody. But as far as like gay, like the whole gay world, she capping on it. She was actually, when I actually got married, she the one that told me if anybody have anything to say negative about you and who you marry or, you know, who you are, fuck them. She was the one person that, you know, first person that told me that when I got married. You know what I mean? A lot of people had a lot of things to say. I got married around the time when, you know, they just legalized, you know, the whole gay marriages and things like that. So a lot of people still haven't got used to it. Still not haven't got used to it, but back then they definitely wasn't used to it. And she was the first person that spoke up. Was like, fuck them. You know what I mean? Excuse my language. I don't know if they're gonna flag you, but that's how it works. You know what I mean? So I know for sure she capping on that, because she never treated me any type of way. She never treated anybody that I saw. Matter of fact, like
Candace,
people that's close to her, be around her right now, like some people in her family, they're gay. You know what I mean? So she have it. Like, you know what I mean? That's the best way I can put it.
I feel you. I'm glad you were able to speak on that, because a lot of people feel like, oh my gosh, she's homophobic or she's transphobic, and it's just like, I don't think so. I don't think so. She's conservative, and she has a conservative audience.
That's what that is. You know what I mean? That's what that is.
Side note, though, right? You said you and your twin is gay, both of you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this. You know, a lot of people be going back and forth online about this. I feel like people can be born gay. How do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, I was definitely born gay. I never had sex with a dude, never been with a dude. You know what I mean? Things like that. I've known since I was like 6.
What Candace knows how to do is wiggle her way around with words, leaving things to interpretations, taking stands and also contrasting those stands. Here is what she also said later on in that interview with Don Lennon when he asked her about homophobia.
Are you homophobic? Oh, I'm just like, what does homophobia actually mean? Can you give me a definition of homophobia? If I was homophobic, would I be doing like this show? Do you think I'm like scared? Like I'm like, oh my God, look, there's a gay man. I'm so scared.
No, not at all.
Have a phobia? It's like to have a phobia, fear of, like, you know?
Before we go, is there anything else, any other misconceptions about Candace Owens that you would like to squash today with this interview?
She is still stupid. Do not sit here and say she's very smart and intelligent. No, she's not. Candace is beret.
Yeah, actually, you know, it's really to Candace direct. You know, my biggest thing with Candace is, you know, we're used to what you're doing. I'm used to what you're doing. I love you to death. You know, I'll die for you. With that being said, you know, how you carried on, you know, doing what you know, did with grandpa and grandma, trying to make, you know, that whole situation like a bad situation, you know, when you grew up around great people. You grew up in a good, loving family. In fact, your intelligence come from my grandmother. So, you know, with that being said, I just think you owe us an apology. And
Candace, you owe your cousin an apology. My Lord, Candace, she does not have intelligence, okay? Stop the cap. Stop the cap. She's not intelligent. That might be an insult to your grandmother. But Candace, you tried to make it seem as if your grandparents were not taking care of you, giving you a nice life, helping you out, helping your parents out, that your parents were treating you like crap. Make it seem like it was a bad thing because your grandfather made you read the scripture before you went to school, made your breakfast with hot cocoa. Are you kidding me? How do you make that a bad thing? Her own cousin said that Candace owes them an apology. Do you all think Candace gave them that apology? That's right, Juju. Cousin does sound like a dude. I just, you know, we can all see who's the guy in that situation. Her cousin is gay. But do you all think she ever rendered an apology to her cousin? Is there a post or a video where Candace actually apologized to her cousin, to her family, her grandparents? Because now her grandfather is deceased, right? I would assume the grandmother is as well. I wonder, did they ever get that apology before they passed away?
You know, but you know, I love you to death. But you know, that needs to get set right, you know, ASAP. So other than
what did she say? I missed that. What did she say?
Nah, you know, she kind of got famous, you know, just saying, you know how I mentioned she capped with the gay stuff? She did like a situation with that, you know, to where, you know, I didn't approve of that. A lot of us didn't approve with it. And I think she's that right. in order to move on with her life. You know what I mean? Things like that. In order for people in our family who's older to move on in their life as well. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like I said, we're used to Candace and things like that. You know what I mean? But you know,
are y'all used to her lying like hell? Because that's what she does a lot of. Candace lies like hell. Don't get used to her lying. It's never too late for her to apologize to the remaining family members, even if the grandparents are not alive and here to see it. It's not too late. But no one should get used to someone that becomes, you know, very infamous off of lies, lying about her background, her upbringing, the life that her parents, her grandparents gave to her, afforded her. Candace lied about so much of that stuff. She lied about being kicked out of the house at 14 years old and having to live with some boyfriend for 6 months. There is no way her grandfather allowed that to happen. But Candace lied like hell on Russell Brand's show. And we saw that video of that. She lied. And it's unnecessary. And you can imagine her parents and grandparents hearing that show, that interview she did with Russell Brand. And they're like, when did she get kicked out the house at 14? What boyfriend? What's she talking about? Why does Candace have to lie about her upbringing? This is why you don't start this nonsense. This is why you don't let someone go off lying for so long, because look what happens. She's going to continue to lie. And what's the penalty of that? Because her relatives aren't really holding her to the fire on that. They're not keeping their foot on her neck. You're going to apologize to us, or we're going to come out and keep doing more interviews, and you won't like it. Won't be enough money in the world to shut me up once I get going. Like, why they just won't come out and say it? No, she lied like hell. I have never known Candace to apologize to even her own relatives. And they know she's lying. Her cousin sitting here saying she's capping more than anything. Worst part is, it's like, why you didn't give the public a heads up that this girl lies like this? She caps about a lot of stuff, people. Here are all the things that Candace is capped about, because we grew up with her. We know she's lying. Why not warn the public? Is a letter, what's her name? Nesta Rose cool with Candace just relentlessly attacking Erica Kirk? Erica Kirk has 2 kids. You good with that, Nesta? That girl's catching death threats. You good with that, Nesta Rose? She said she has direct sources and contacts living in her residential building, where Erica Kirk is raising 2 minor kids. One of the youngest is a 2-year-old, a toddler. You good with that, Nesta Rose? Hopefully you are disturbed in your sleep to where you have no choice but to say something to Candace. To say, can you please stop messing with Erica Kirk so I can get a good night's rest? God is messing with my sleep and slumber because of your ass. Shut up. Because God knows how to get your attention, right?
When you do things that don't make sense and it's not the truth, then that's when, you know, kind of you got to step up and, you know, talk. That's why I'm here today, to make sure, you know, I set that straight. You know what I mean? You know, Candace came from great people, you know what I mean? You know, with people that love her to death, always supported her, you know, always was there for her, you know, and like I said, she get her intelligence from our grandmother. Our grandmother was if they met her, she was just literally like an angel on earth. And our grandfather loved our grandmother until her last breath. And he literally died of a broken heart. He lost the love of his life. So we got to see love in our family. We got to see our grandmother battle cancer our whole entire life. You know what I mean? And things like that. So how dare her, you know, do something like that just to get a little fame behind your belt. You know what I mean? Things like that. Wow. So, you know, that's basically, that's what's that. That's why I'm talking here today, because I felt like the time was now to make sure, you know, we set that straight before it gets carried on any further. So
All right, I hear you.
Now, I do not understand exactly what she meant by Candace Owens using the memory or the legacy of their grandfather and grandmother in order to gain some fame or something. I know she has always spoken of her grandfather, Robert Owens, in a beautiful and nice mood, like he was someone who made her the woman she is today. She's always credited him for some of her points of views on family and hard work and honor. So I actually don't know. But I'm sure as an individual who is part of the family, there is something she knows that we might not know. Or maybe if you understood where she's coming from this clip, please let me know, because I went into research. I couldn't get what was making her angry regarding her cousin's commentary. Things that made people angry. Candace Owens, you remember when she came back and she was having interviews after she was fired from the Daily Wire, and she took a little hiatus, and when she came back, she was having interviews with members of the podcast community. She went on the Breakfast Club and she had an interview. While she was there trying to debunk and make herself more pleasant to the community, she was asked a few things that any human anywhere in the world, as long as you're Black, knows it. And Candace Owens, to save her life, did not understand where this came from, where it's going to. And it really made me understand completely what Nesta said when she said Candace Owens grew up in a mostly white section. So she's not been engaging with the Black side, even though she is completely Black. But it seems her Black side is null and void, and the growing up side of being in a white section is the only part that is active at some points. Candace Owens made this clip is hilarious. And then the reaction of the interviewers at the end of the clip, it's so much more funny.
All right. God is good.
God is good. Amen.
No, no, no.
Christ.
No.
Oh, good
I thought you were
Lord.
going to say God is great. Thank you for the
God is
48.
great.
No.
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 God, all right,
Y'all
y'all,
gonna give it an
I'm-
answer?
God is good. Finish the rest in the chat. All the time. And all the time, God is good. Candace, you are the absolute worst. No. Oh my God, y'all. She weaponizes God to her advantage just to pull in conservative Christians. That's all she's doing. There you go, D. Hampton. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. Listen. That lets you know Candace didn't pay attention at all in church. Not even for 5 minutes. Candace probably was one of those ones that went to church, sat in the back, was like this. Is it over? She learned nothing in church. Not even a biblical scripture. Candace, you can't even get just a quote that we use in church, like a saying. It's like a slogan almost. You can't even nail that. That really has nothing to do with. I've been able to say that with people who are Protestants. Man, if you paying attention to church, you know how to finish that sentence. Oh my God. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. That's how you get a whole congregation involved to finish the rest of that sentence. You can't make this up. Candace can't even do that. Because Candace don't know. Candace does not know that God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. She doesn't know that.
I'm gonna do you, Charlamagne.
Yes.
Charlamagne, God is good.
All the time.
And all the time,
God is good.
that's right.
Where's that from?
Jesus
Oh
Christ,
my
Candace.
God.
Out of school. When a couple of guys, they were up to no good. Start.
Oh, stop. No. How did we get here? No.
I thought you were going to say God is great. Thank you for the
God
48.
is great.
No.
Oh my
No.
God. How did we
God,
get here?
Y'all gonna give it an
I'm
answer?
gonna do you, Charlamagne.
Yes.
Charlamagne, God is good.
All the time.
And all the time,
God is good.
that's right.
Where's that from?
Jesus
Church.
Christ, Candace.
Out of school. When a couple of guys, they were up to no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight.
Oh, you are the worst.
You know, they were taking me back to the 90s, 80s, and 90s, so I had to relive the song. And
no, they were not taking you back to the 80s, 90s. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. That's not an 80s and 90s slogan, Candace. That is what is said in church. Doesn't matter when you just say amen. Oh, he said Jesus Christ, Candace. No. Oh, Candace, life is tough. Candace, life is tough. Get a helmet. No, you can't make this stuff up. Oh, Candace, oh, you're such an idiot. I gotta let this play.
Ultimately, I did get to the scientific fact that he only had one little fight before his mother overreacted.
Finish this response. God is good.
Amen.
I've never seen that before, ever in my life. I mean, there's never been a time that I've yelled out, God is good, and somebody didn't answer. God is good.
But why do you say all the time back?
What church you went to, girl? What year was Cash Money Markets taken over before?
Oh gosh, I know the answer to this one.
Juvie. Like what?
Cash Money Records taking over this year?
Bitch, not this year. Not this year. The fuck?
No, you're not talking about Girl, You Look Good, Won't You?
Yes.
You backed that ass up. I knew the song, but did not remember the first 10 seconds of the song, apparently. So there was that. And yeah, I did pretty well otherwise.
One more question.
Uh-oh. She's back.
Yep. Has your husband ever asked you to bust it wide open and then proceed to tell you, bring it back?
On several occasions, unexpectedly, my husband has definitively.
It's like, all right, never mind. Once you turn political, talking about definitively, like, no, just yes or no. Does he do that? Did you do that?
To bring it back, I think was the most important part that you said. And he has done both of those things, yes.
And you've done it?
Yes. I think the most important question from the Black quiz that I was made to endure, unprompted, was about raisins and potato salad, which actually is a crime.
She was scared of shit.
I am one to enjoy a funny moment, and this was definitely one of those funny moments with her interview with Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club, and just hilarious reactions to it. It was totally worth it. Her reactions are so funny.
It's just so
they're
dumb.
so funny. Oh my goodness. Candace Owens was having like, I don't know how to put it. She was taking it in strides, though. I have to commend her for that. She was taking it in strides and
Candace
acting like, oh
suck.
my God.
You're
It's
clown.
so interesting to see Candace in a scenario where she feels dumb, and you can see it on her face that she feels like she's dumb in this scenario. And it was so...
Candace, you're dumb in a lot of ways.
But
Yeah,
let's get
shout out
this
to
one
Nemo.
thing.
That was Nemo. Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, yeah. Oh, I had to mute myself. I was laughing my butt off. Whew. Y'all, we got to get into a couple videos here. Y'all remember Sloppy Joe Kent, right? He's under FBI investigation. So Gary from Paramount Tactical brought on a retired colonel here from, is that Air Force? USAF Air Force. I would love to know the status of this FBI investigation into Sloppy Joe Kent. I do believe he was selling Candace information she should not have been told. And he needs to face the consequences for that. Whoo, child. Oh my God. Y'all Candace is so dumb. Somebody got a one little faith, and my mom got scared. Like, girl, that does not know. You can't even rap it. Candace, you're an idiot. So I wanted to get into this because I'm curious to know the status of this FBI investigation into Sloppy Joe Kent. And Candace said in her interview with Elle from CNN that she did 10 days after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, that she has sources in the FBI Nah, I think she was just talking to Sloppy Joe Kent. And the irony of him being under investigation for releasing information he shouldn't be releasing. And we owe Candace nothing, so we don't have to give her the benefit of the doubt knowing that she's a pathological liar. So let's get into this and hear what retired Colonel has to say about it. Hit the floor where you can see it hit.
Straight. I have told people, and I was taught too, that if you can't support an order from the commander, whether it's the commander in chief or the flight commander or platoon leader, if you can't stand it, then if it's within your power to do so, then you should resign, keep your mouth shut, and get out of the way. Because once the decision's made, and you've either got to support it or you got to get out of the way. So I'm not opposed to somebody like Kent resigning over a principle like that, but it was way outside of what I have ever known or been taught as the right way to do it. He did it after the operation had already started. That all that does is throw a big old giant stake right in the lap of the Iranian enemy and everybody that's supporting them. He put things in the letter like Israel leading America by the nose that caused his wife to die. God bless her. He's a gold star husband. In Syria, saying that Israel was the cause of that. Israel was the cause of Iraq. When I can take you to multiple factual videos that shows that the prime minister of Israel was opposed to us going into Iraq. And it wasn't until after his government fell that somebody came in that would support it. So the lies that are in the letter and the timing of the letter are probably the two most egregious things about that. And then there's the follow-on, as you know, you and I've talked about it already. He's gone on several shows, been interviewed several times, and he's spouting this woke right stuff. And some of the stuff is even Iranian propaganda in the middle of a war. And look, I don't have an axe to grind with Joe, but I have to fess up that I supported him, and I would not support him again for any position of power because of his actions here. And I just think his judgment is off. I don't know why. I'm not going to hold him personal. I'm not going to take it personal on him, but I have a responsibility to speak out, and I have been speaking out about this issue because of that.
Well, I appreciate that. And like you said, I think it's a matter of integrity we need to be able to do that. I agree with you. I was a huge Joe Kent fan for a really long time, and I was looking forward to him joining this administration. I thought he was going to bring a lot of experience to the table, a lot of honor and integrity. But I couldn't agree more. I mean, it was so disgraceful. I don't care if you were resigning from Entergy. Like, you would not do what he did. The way that he publicly resigned, and then within a couple of hours of posting that on X, his resignation, that in of itself was disgraceful. Within hours, he was on a flight to go see Tucker Carlson. And one of the biggest problems that I have with what he's doing, here he is the director of the NCTC. And this is a fusion center. And he has as much investigatory authority as your local mailman. And basically, he is so worried about what is happening with the Charlie Kirk investigation, what is happening with the Butler, what's happening with the pipe bomber in DC. Like, none of that is his job. One of the big things that I learned in the military was, like, you do your job, don't worry about everybody else's. And when it comes to the war in Iran and the decision to take military action in Iran, there's like 10,000 people plus in that decision-making process. There's the DIA, the CIA, the FBI, you have the Joint Chiefs, you have all the Pentagon, you have thousands of staff officers making up contingency plans, feeding intel to the president, and so that he can make the decision. The one person that's not in that decision-making process is Joe Kent, and he's mad. And one of the things he said that just blew my mind, he said, I had to leave basically because, and I had to do it publicly the way that I did, or basically my opinion wasn't going to get heard. It's like, nobody elected you, Joe. It wasn't your opinion to give. You were supposed to be covering down the NCTC, the National Counterterrorism Center, and worrying about the intel that's coming in and giving it to the people that need it. And that's all you should be doing. And by the way, we had like, I don't know what, 4 terrorist events under his watch. Like,
at least 4, yeah.
Yeah, if he was paying attention to his job and doing his job, not worrying about what the president's doing, maybe those terrorist events wouldn't have taken place.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Combined with that is part of that story.
So Sloppy Joe Kent was running around here blaming Israel for his wife's death. Didn't Charlie Kirk call that a sickness, brain rot? And yet he's so worried about Charlie Kirk's assassination, but he ignores the fact that Charlie Kirk called that brain rot. Can't make this stuff up.
Is that he had been cut off from classified information for quite some time. I haven't been able to nail down exactly how long, but I know the concerns about him leaking classified go all the way back to Signalgate, which is a smear in the first place. So I'm not saying he's that guy, but I'm saying that he was being looked at. And when you look at his Tucker Carlson interview, I watched the whole thing in the quiet of my office one morning just to listen to it. He makes the statement a couple of times that he wasn't getting access to classified information enough ever since the Midnight Hammer operation. So last summer, 2025. So my concern with that is the reason why we have these 4 and some number of probably unknown triggers waiting to be pulled or that failed Islamist terrorist attacks after Epic Fury kicks off. One of the reasons is Joe Kent, like you said, is not paying attention to his job, but he's not getting classified information in order to fuse that information together to get it out there to the operators to stop these operations. And that is the biggest problem I have with this whole story, because of all the things that needed to be running on all 8 cylinders, like a turbocharged diesel F-250 King Ranch like I drive. It needed to be that NCTC in the run-up to Epic Fury, because what we said would happen has happened and will continue to happen. Hopefully, the focus has been redone at the NCTC, and they're at now actually doing that fusion of the intelligence against terrorism that's coming in, so that it gets to the right people and we can stop.
It's the irony of this. I want y'all to think about this for a minute. He was the director of National Counterterrorism Center. And he had connections and communications with Candace Owens. And then Candace Owens takes her dumbass to Russia. What you think he may have improperly given up to Candace Owens that she could have potentially given to Russia? Because sometimes, you know, the pathway is already there. You just got to light it up. Why would someone like a sloppy Joe Kent need to ever have conversations with Candace Owens? Don't you think a country that wants the United States to be destabilized would want to know information regarding counterterrorism? He's sitting here talking to Candace. You can't say it was strictly about Charlie Kirk, because he was under investigation as of March for improperly leaking classified information. Charlie Kirk's assassination is not classified. Perhaps anything relating to his job function would be, though. And for some reason, he's shooting the breeze with a Candace Owens who goes to Russia, and then God knows what she's told them, and then comes back talking about the U.S. should be like Russia. Yeah, don't kick rocks. What the hell did Joe Kent tell you, Candace? And what the hell did you tell Russia? Didn't I tell y'all? But you might as well stay over there. You know they're going to question her. Candace, you know you're still bugged, right? You idiot. Like this girl, there's no way she did not go to Russia and not tell them whatever Joe Kent told her. It's more than just, perhaps him talking about Charlie Kirk was just to give a reason or justification as to why he would even want to have communication with Candace Owens. Perhaps him talking about Charlie Kirk was just to give a reason or justification as to why he would even want to have communication with Candace Owens. Otherwise, how does that deter you from actually doing your job, dealing with counterterrorism? Are you kidding? You're blaming Israel for the death of your wife, but somehow you're derelict of duty, serving as the director for counterterrorism in our country. And you want to focus on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which is not classified. You can't make this up. But you're under FBI investigation for releasing classified information. And they want us to believe that he did not tell Candace some classified information and she went over there and told Russia. Candace, I have no reason to not believe you did not do those things. None. You're a pathological liar. And Sloppy Joe Ken is an idiot. I kept, of all the things, you got, I don't even want to say an easy job, but you got a job where you're probably not even qualified to do it. Because look how easy it was for him to do something where the FBI had to place his ass under investigation for. The one thing he should not be doing, he did that. Releasing intel. And as opposed to him remaining focused on doing his job to help keep our country safe from counterterrorism attacks or terroristic attacks, being able to counteract that, he's worried about, and there's nothing wrong with mourning. But somehow, forget all this stuff over here that's more important is dealing with the entire country. I can't believe Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination. We need to investigate that. What are you talking about? So how's this counterterrorism job of yours going again? Israel killed my wife. And we're supposed to believe that he didn't tell Candace some stuff that she should not know. Or was he just faking it just to use that as a ruse to give reasoning as to why he communicated well? He going on Tucker Carlson's show. You were the director of national counterterrorism. What the hell are you going to Tucker Carlson's show for? Why are you over there? Just reckless stuff. There's certain things based on your job position, the level of clearance that you have, that you should not do. Going on random podcasts and shows and stuff is not something you should want to do with the credentials and the clearance that you have. Because sometimes people just don't know how to hold water. And the FBI would not have been placing him under investigation if he could hold water. Obviously, he couldn't. So when he got mad and then took it out on the entire country by releasing classified intel he shouldn't have told anybody about. He's only under investigation. He should be glad about that. Because see, if you were in Russia, they probably would have beat his ass. Can't make this up.
Most of these. But I'm concerned that it's probably still got some cracks in it. And we're still at risk.
Yeah, no, I agree. There, one of the things I've been talking about a lot and talking to Matt Tardio, apparently we've been kind of running parallel on some of these issues and stories. I've been talking about this larger psychological operation that's taking place that's specifically targeting the right. It's meant to divide the right. It's meant to divide Christians versus, Catholics versus Protestants versus Zionist Protestants versus, I guess, anti-Semitic Protestants, because that sure seems like what it is now. But
I've learned some things about my own Christianity in the last 6 months that I never thought I would know.
Sloppy Joe King.
You and me both. But there's clearly this operation that's taking place that, to me, is it's the objective is most definitely that we lose the midterms. And if we lose the midterms, we're almost certainly going to lose 2028 election. What do you think is the overall objective of the woke right, which to me, everything that the woke right is saying is nothing more than this globalist agenda that's been kind of rebranded for the right. It's just another, it's this extreme isolationism, which really, I've said it before, but extreme isolationism is the only thing that could be worse than extreme interventionalism.
All right, so if you enjoyed that content, well, number one, make sure you like and subscribe. But that was just a short clip from a much longer video.
Oh, Gary, thank you so much for that clip. Because, I just needed to know some update about that. It's absolutely amazing. Joshua Carr did a video.
Is Charlie?
Shout out to Joshua Carr. He's such a cutie. Make sure you guys go check out Gary with Paramount Tactic, as well as Joshua Carr. We had Nemo, also Storybox, and then we're going to be moving right along into I wanted to do this video from Chicks on the Right, and then we got the watch party. But we gotta check this out here. Joshua Carr covered this where Candace's dumbass cult members are walking around here talking about Charlie Kirk is still alive, because you just can't make this stuff up. It's like they won't leave him alone. Just leave him alone. You think they would just leave him alone? Even Candace said in her last video, because she switches day by day. He's dead, he's not coming back, in her emergency live stream. For some reason, though, her cult members, the candy asses, because they're so stupid, want to just believe that he's still alive. Because why? Dead people just can't be dead. They think Elvis is still alive. These are the same people that didn't care about Charlie Kirk at all. Called him a racist. Don't care about TPUSA. Didn't care about his organizations or his movement. None of that. And they think that Charlie Kirk is still alive. Like that's the new conspiracy theory. He's impersonating CIA investigators. Would rather believe that Charlie Kirk is alive. Never mind the grief that it brings back to Erica Kirk or the confusion upon his two children. These evil demons, for some reason, cannot accept the fact, even though they didn't care in the first place, that Charlie Kirk is deceased and refuse to let him rest in peace. That's right, Karen. The devil loves chaos. So shout out to Joshua Carr. Let's get into this. Hit the forward you can see in here.
Charlie Kirk still alive? Candace Owens fans seem to think so. I'm going to be showing you what they are saying. I'm also going to be debunking the lies, including another theory from Candace that Charlie wasn't shot with a 30-06, but instead a microphone bomb. Stick around to the end as well, because we will give you the new update on the Tyler Robinson trial. So this guy's name is Jesse On Fire. He was on Alex Jones' podcast, and he articulated a very popular talking point going around the internet that Charlie Kirk faked his death, that he's still alive. Take a look.
Mikey McCoy, Blake Neff, Andrew Colvett, and Erica on that one. And it was like 12 days after Charlie had supposedly gotten killed. None of them are sad at all. Like they're all ear to ear smiles. I'm like, this makes no sense. Like and at the time I couldn't put it together. I was just like, what's up with these people? I don't get it. It was all in hindsight when I started really thinking through a bunch of different things. I'm not saying any of this is fact, but thought exercise. If you can prove.
Why would you even say this at all? It's not fact. If you can prove, you who? You don't believe anything Erica Kirk or TPUSA has to say. So who are you challenging? This dude extra sweaty as hell, ain't he? This man glistening all over the place. Grown ass man that should be doing anything else. What the hell wrong with him? Crack is whack.
That you have a half dozen to a dozen people who are
no one needs to prove anything to you, you dumbass. Go read a book.
In Charlie's inner circle involved that day. What is more likely, that they were involved in whacking out their best friend, husband, and whoever, or that they were involved in?
Hopefully Erica Kirk names his ass in the lawsuit. Now keep on running your mouth. You walk yourself into a lawsuit. Then you have to see and explain this dumb nonsense that you're talking about. The audacity for you to demand somebody prove something. Ain't nobody proving anything to you. clown.
An elaborate hoax where the motive would have been Charlie. Have you seen the clip of Charlie talking about that that Joe Biden and Jack Smith had targeted him in the special investigation or the special prosecutor investigation? He was like number 2 target apparently, and he spent the entire final year of the campaign believing that if Trump lost, he's going to go to prison for a long time.
He said the first thing he thought when Trump won at 1:27 at night Central that, oh great, I'm not going to prison.
Yep. And so every person with a gigantic profile who is facing down an investigation, and again, I love Charlie.
They have major pressure on them.
No, you can't love Charlie because you want to sit here and oh my God, you're attacking his wife. Something you would never do if he was still alive. If Charlie Kirk was still alive, you would not be attacking his wife like that because he would come out of somewhere, out the bushes, I guess, and whoop your ass. He wouldn't even have to do it. I'm not even doing a post on X. Y'all hold this. Yeah, what's his name? I'm gonna whoop his ass. That's it. He wouldn't let you grown ass men sit here and attack his wife like that. And these little punks would not even be saying half the stuff that they are saying if Charlie Kirk was still alive, because they didn't say these things when he was alive. Cowards. And I thought this one was out here paying $1 billion to people for running his mouth.
To hit the ejection button and make themselves bigger than life. That way you have the cake and eat it too.
Yep. But I just mean that anybody who's facing inevitable prison, Kenneth Lay, stuff like that, it's like, if you know that you're going to go down, everybody's going to get to, well, my only out is fake my death.
I'm going to say something a little bit dumb right now.
Oh, Lord,
Jesse on Fire and Alex Jones are a little bit right, actually. Not about Charlie Kirk being alive. Obviously, that's crazy. He's not alive, but about what's more likely. They say here, he says, what is more likely? That everyone who loved Charlie betrayed him or that he covered up their death? The latter is more plausible. I actually agree with him. That's way more likely than Erica Kirk conspiring with Andrew Colvette, as well as Egyptian planes and Mormons and a microphone bomb being involved. And even though it's not actually plausible at all, it is still more plausible than that, which further shows how nutty Candace Owens and her followers are for simultaneously believing all the conspiracies about TPUSA. Not only do some of them believe that he's alive, but some of them believe this and that. And none of it makes sense. Honestly, none of them are unified at all, except for the fact that they don't believe the most simple and most logical answer, which we'll get into in a second. Now, one of the clips going around right now is of Charlie Kirk's funeral. The internet is saying that this security guard that you can see right here behind Elon Musk is Charlie. There are people out there.
Yeah, because, he would still be out being somebody's security guard. Oh, this is stupidity for me. If somebody is faking their death, why would they go and still do anything that involves them coming out into the light around human beings and being caught on a camera doing anything? You're not going to go out and become Elon Musk's bodyguard. It's so stupid. Don't you think somebody can just walk up to him and just go and see for themselves? It's so funny how no one walked up to that person and said, can you take your hat off? I just need to see for myself. Oh my God, Lord. This is mind-numbing. It's the bodyguard here.
Legitimately saying that Charlie Kirk attended his own funeral. And you can see there, it looks a little bit like him, I guess. Not really. And before we get back to Alex Jones, I want to delve into that clip, right?
Anybody can favor someone. If you're the same height, weight, build, and you have like dark hair, and he's got on a hat. So the main features that you look for to distinguish whether or not it's, Charlie Kirk versus someone else, mostly is being covered up. You got the hat on where it's got the little connection. So a lot of features are being kind of blocked out. Funny how no one just walked up to him and put the camera close up. Like, can you take your hat off right quick? I'm just trying to make sure you're not Charlie Kirk. What the hell? No one thought to do that. No one thought to just walk up to the person and just ask them to take their hat off. Watch out. Oh, Lord have mercy. Jesus.
The Candace cult believes Charlie may have faked his
So
death
stupid.
to go to
Candace
his
cult
own
is
funeral.
stupid.
Just think about that for a second. I looked it up because it sounds a lot like a movie. It's one of the most famous movie tropes from the last 60 years. It's in tons of TV shows.
They
It's
didn't
in
walk
tons
up
of
to the guy.
movies. It made me realize these people really think the internet is real life. That is what is spawning most of these conspiracy theories. It's movies they've seen over the last few decades.
They're dumb.
They draw on fiction for all of their wisdom. I legitimately think that's where these conspiracy theories are coming from. They think they're having an original idea. This guy, Jesse on Fire, probably
refused to
thinks he
read
had a
a book.
revelation that nobody has realized this, that he's piecing all the puzzle pieces together. But in reality, it's coming from a show that they watched that weekend and they just don't realize it. And in addition to the fiction, what the Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories really come down to is a misunderstanding of human nature. And I'll show you what I mean. Here is the same conversation with Alex Jones. They start talking about the whole basis for believing Charlie Kirk is still alive. Here's what they say.
How do you explain the gigantic shift in energy? Like, obviously she's not showing grief, but she also is totally normal on camera when she's with Charlie. To me, it appears like they have an incredible relationship. And so you look at, you're like,
No,
how
exactly.
would
She
not
looks
be-
loving and beautiful and genuine
Yes.
when Charlie's there. Then her eyes get crazy. She acts witch-like. If you wanted to be an actress and put off to come off as disingenuous, you'd have to be a master actor to look that disingenuous.
Yes, that's it.
No, because just looking bug eyes somehow is like a sign that you're not happy at all. I'm laughing on the inside. Y'all can't tell. Oh, you gotta be an actress to be able to look like you're sad. The audacity of you to smile. How dare you smile about anything in life? You should. You gotta walk around with the frowny face for 24/7. That's how you're supposed to be looking when you're grieving. If it's not this, then you should be questioned for Merk. Erica, you gotta walk around like this, girl. Oh, Lord, it's so stupid. They're stupid. They're both stupid. Oh, my God. And he wonders why he's been sued for all the money. Alex Jones, when you have to pay out a judgment of over $1 billion with a B, as in boy, billion, BILLION, no one should care what you think. Everything you say should lead to another lawsuit. This dumbass should be like, I'd rather not be side by side with you. You got to pay too much money in lawsuits. Your lawsuit loss is contagious. I don't want to catch it. Stay over there. This is gross as hell, man. And he's in here laughing about this bullshit. Why is he so sweaty?
Yeah, that's an excellent way to put it. You would have to be Daniel Day-Lewis to successfully look as disingenuous as she has looked in.
And I'm still lady like clap. What the hell wrong with them? Neither one of these men are living with her either. They act like they jealous. I told you a lot of these men secretly want Erica Kirk. She's a beautiful girl. They probably sit around and admire her photos at night. She looks weird. No, she doesn't. You just leave her alone and stop staring at her. Aren't they married? I wouldn't be married to his dumb ass. He is crazy. And he owes billions of dollars. No. You don't marry him, you marry straight into debt. Who is this guy? Is he married? You know, their wives should feel some type of way and be questioning them. Like, why are y'all staring at Erica Kirk like that? What do you mean her facial expression? You shouldn't care how she look. Leave her alone. Talk about anything else. They just showing their obsession.
in all of these things.
Guys, I've been trying something called Insight Bridge. It is a platform that uses AI-guided conversations to help you reflect on your life, your experiences, your business, what's important to you. And what makes it unique is that it combines those conversations with a human touch. Real people who read what you shared and respond thoughtfully. I recently received one of these letters myself. You can see it right here. It was surprisingly meaningful. It helped me work through some of the questions I've had about my business, about how I can become better, how I can provide for my family better. And as someone who is constantly
the basic,
that his whole evidence for this crazy theory is just based on how TPUSA and Erica Kirk are acting. Not evidence, not facts, just his perception. And ironically, in that clip, they describe the grieving process without even realizing it. That's what's so funny. All of it actually makes sense if you want to look at it. They're saying that Erica was super loving to Charlie before, and then suddenly she became cold. What happened? I wonder. What could somehow make someone suddenly act different? What could make them less able to talk on camera? Maybe it could be like a life-altering event in the form of your husband being murdered on screen and you having to watch it over and over again. Maybe that's why it seems like she went from this really warm person to a little bit colder in their eyes. Again, I don't think that's true, but if that's what they're seeing and they're wondering when the change happened, maybe it's because her husband was murdered, guys. They're admitting right there they could see the grief. They're just not connecting the dots. And it's because
but no, they don't care. They know it's more entertaining to just keep it salacious to where you're trying to appease Candace's 6 million bots and cult members that want the US to be like Russia. Like we give a damn what they think. We don't care what they think. That's the problem. People need to stop caring what Candace thinks. We don't care. Candace, I don't care that you want to walk around here and blame your pregnancy for you wanting to get in more physical fights. I find it to be gross. And you're not speaking on behalf of all pregnant women that have been pregnant with boys. Both of my kids are boys. I never wanted to get in physical fights. But I will tell you this. Nuck if you buck, and you will go to jail. That's what I'm looking forward to. I actually dare you to act upon that physical aggression. I dare you, Candace. Just so we can make sure that you go to jail. It's that simple. Don't care how you feel about it. You go out and start a physical fight with someone and try to blame your pregnancy. You, Candace Owens, will go to jail. For battery. For sure. And if it's with George, that's domestic violence. He won't even be able to get charges dismissed on that. That will fall right in the hands of the prosecutor. George, how did you get that black eye? Because you do understand. Not reporting that makes you look just as dumb and guilty. Candace, go out there and act like you're going to get in a physical fight with somebody. Go ahead. So we can get that police body cam footage of you being arrested.
Because they're either grifters in many cases like Candace Owens. I think Alex Jones is a grifter too. Or it's because they misunderstand human nature and human reactions, which frankly, just a sign of stupidity. There's not much we can do about that. You know, I would love to say we can go convince all these people, but at the end of the day, they're just not going to see it. That's the simplest way to say it.
Yeah.
Another example of this is with the Mike bomb theory, which has really gained a lot of steam. This Mike bomb theory was one put out soon after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. It was one of the most popular ones at the time. It was debunked. It died. It had no legs. Recently, it's made a comeback. Here is Candace Owens saying that it solves all the mysteries.
You run this theory that Charlie's microphone was rigged. Suddenly, every little oddity in this story, every little oddity from September 10th onward begins to make a lot more sense. Just to briefly recap, we put together this graphic for you guys. The rigged mic would go a long way in terms of explaining why.
Candace, you putting up Project Constipation's thumbnail that he should not be using? They had to issue him a letter. He tried to make demands like he somehow had standing to do that. Why are you playing this? Why is this thumbnail up here? Candace, when they sue you, don't say, just take the lawsuit, go to court. Don't take forever to respond either. Go ahead and get you some attorneys and just wait for the lawsuit. This is why Erica Kirk, you don't have to say anything verbally. Just sue her. and go get you a protection and a restraining order signed by a judge. That's it.
Why the bomb dogs were kept away from the scene, okay? Because they would have smelled the explosive. Why the crime scene was immediately paved over
They would have,
and the soil was
Candace, they would not
excavated.
smell that.
That's
explosive.
because explosive residue, as we have learned,
What
really
would the
hangs
explosive residue
onto
been big?
soil. It is highly soil absorbed. So I can show you that here. I think we have a little science article that you can.
When did the dog sniff around? Wouldn't it have been after Charlie Kirk was shot, went to the hospital and everything else? The dog would not have smelled any explosive residue anywhere. When the microphone was intact when he got into the truck, because it didn't explode. Funny how the dogs didn't bark that out. You know, I would love to get the dogs to come in on. Oh, we got to get the dogs to come to the LLC and give their account of what they did. Candace, I'm gonna make sure they bark and growl at your dumb ass every chance they get. That's a good boy. Bark, bark. Good boy. Oh, the stories it can tell right now. These dogs are just itching to debunk Candace. She's like a tick to them. You can't make this stuff up.
Look up, you can research this on your own, but it says that the low water solubility and high soil absorption of PETM in particular, if we think that is the explosive, it would be very problematic. And
it solves everything, you guys. The soil, it was changed out. Bomb dogs were kept away. The crime scene was paved over. Get distracted by all these details. All of those details, guys, just distractions. They are Gish Gallop details to make you think you didn't see what you saw. I have spoken to dozens of people at the event who have actually witnessed what happened with Charlie Kirk. Again, I live 3 minutes away from where this happened. I didn't happen to be there that day. I have many friends who did. We've also seen the videos. We all heard the gunshot. Forensics agrees that the shot heard was a hunting rifle. The Candace Owens cronies don't think it was a 30-06 because there's no way a bullet wouldn't exit the back of the neck. That's their whole logic for saying that. Yet they believe an explosive, a literal explosive, made a perfect bullet-shaped hole in him, that it did not obliterate his chest where the mic was. Here's another person online saying this was Israel, since they use small explosives all the time.
The theory that Charlie Kirk was killed by an explosive placed in his wireless mic is growing in popularity. And when you look at the reenactments done online, side by side, you can't help but notice the way that the shirt moves, the way that the necklace moves, and the way that the body moves are so similar. And now Tucker Carlson is openly saying that he believes that Charlie Kirk was killed because
believe he was most likely murdered for his evolving views on Israel.
Which is interesting when it comes to the exploding mic theory, because almost exactly a year before Charlie Kirk's assassination, Israel attacked Hezbollah with exploding walkie-talkies and pagers in an...
So I looked into these pagers, by the way. All of us heard about these Israeli pagers. They were very effective against Hezbollah. And here's how they worked. I apologize, it's a bit graphic, but this is a summary of them. For the hands and arms, many victims were holding the devices, had their hands, fingers, or entire arms blown off. Faces and eyes. Because victims were looking at the screens, a massive number suffered severe facial trauma. Hundreds of people were permanently blinded or at least lost one eye. Abdomen and hips. Victims who left the pagers in their pockets or clipped to their belts suffered deep tissue damage, internal bleeding, and severe trauma to their waists and abdomens. That is not a concentrated hole, my friends. That is not how an explosive works. An explosion is devastating. It tears your body apart. If it's a very small one, maybe it just tears that part of your body apart. And that's not happened with Charlie. We saw what happened. We have the video, unfortunately. It was one clean wound to his neck. By the way, this has been pointed out many times. Trained assassins usually go for the head or chest because it's the easiest way to kill someone. Charlie Kirk being shot in the neck means the person missed. The person was not aiming for his neck. Tyler Robinson was not a trained assassin. He likely was aiming for something easy to hit, like his chest, and missed. And that's very common for people who are not trained assassins. So the fact that it was shot...
I said this in the beginning covering this. It was like, you know, you got the chest is the biggest part of the body, center mass. You got heart at very least. You got major blood vessels and the lungs there. But more than likely, if you're not trained, and you're talking about over 120 plus yards away, you're aiming for the chest, center mass. You can get in the chest, center mass, and at least get more left-sided than right-sided. You can get to the heart. That's what the target would be. and he just was off. Whether Candace believes that Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger on the gun is irrelevant. My question is, Candace, how much did you pay him? I'm gonna keep asking that question until I get an answer. Just like she thinks she's gonna keep asking questions she thinks she's owed answers to. We want to know, where was Candace on September 10th, 2025? Where's her alibi? Where's George Farmer's alibi? How much did you pay Tyler Robinson, Candace?
To the neck is a pretty good sign this was not a trained person. These are basic details. I've gone through just a few of them, the most basic ones. They don't require 6 months of 1-hour episodes. They don't require me talking about these crazy details to distract you. They're just the most fundamental things of the case. They are logical and can be explained in under 10 minutes. This is not how Candace Owens and her cult works. They work in getting the biggest bang for their buck and milking every conspiracy that they can. They want to make as many episodes as possible. They want to hold people hostage.
Yep.
And many people pointed this out, but it is a rhetorical form of pornography because you have to one-up it every single time for it to get you that same dopamine hit. It's what Candace does. And again, this is to the detriment of innocent people and to the benefit of the guilty. And that brings us to Tyler Robinson, who has preliminary hearings on July 6th. So this is happening very soon. And I want to show you the updates on that case because it bodes very well for the prosecutors right now here in Utah County. Fox News reported the following. They say Tyler Robinson was dealt 2 major blows to his defense strategy on Monday, but Judge Tony Graff Jr. delayed more consequential rulings. Graff denied a bid from Robinson's defense team to compel his former roommate and love, Lance Twiggs, to testify during the preliminary hearing in July. Robinson's attorneys wanted Twiggs to testify in person at the preliminary hearing. Quote, in light of the limited purpose of a preliminary hearing and the authorities discussed above, defendant has failed to identify specific anticipated testimony that is reasonably likely to negate probable cause, had just as distinguished from anticipated impeachment that would merely create competing credibility inferences. Therefore, enforcement of the subpoena is not warranted on the present record. They continue, Robinson's attorneys were trying to block hearsay evidence, which may include pre-recorded testimony from Robinson's roommate and former lover, Twiggs, the medical examiner's report, federal DNA and ballistics report, and more. Graff delayed his ruling on potential gag order violation and death penalty removal sanctions to Friday, when another hearing will be held at 8:30 local time. Robinson's team argued in a filing Thursday that it would be an inappropriate sanction after prosecutors talked about the case outside of court. So all of this is massive, and we're going to find out on Friday what the answer is on both of those. But they've denied Tyler Robinson's request to force his boyfriend to testify. And the biggest win by far was allowing hearsay evidence, because hearsay evidence in this case was basically all the hardcore evidence. It was the stuff that we know for sure. The article mentioned that includes Tyler Robinson's DNA, the ballistics report, Twiggs' actual confession that Tyler Robinson.
Because Candace, Tyler Robinson left DNA behind, you dumbass girl. You know, you're going to probably scratch your hand, scuff yourself, sweat, hair, something like, you know, he had on a hat, trying to get down the side of that building. Y'all remember that? He left DNA behind. And DNA don't lie. Candace, you gonna tell us who your baby daddy is or what? We're gonna let DNA tell us?
And did this. And again, the fact that Robinson's team didn't want this in the case is a pretty good indicator that he's guilty.
Yep.
The other sign that points to him being guilty is that they are trying to absolve the possibility of the death penalty, what's going to be decided on Friday. The judge said that that's probably on the table. We'll see what the ultimate decision is. But one thing Candace Owens fans should really ask themselves is, why would the defense care about the death penalty being on the line if they thought they were going to win? If they were very confident that all of this was a conspiracy.
Because they don't want the client to be put to death. Candace. You do understand that Erica Kirk, didn't she already say she did not want the death penalty to be sought? She wants justice to prevail. But if she doesn't want them to seek the death penalty, the defense is going to use that as more than enough reason for that to be removed. Now, it doesn't mean that the prosecutors will not seek the death penalty. No. But they're definitely going to use that as an excuse or justification to try to argue as to why, if anything, he should get life without the possibility of parole. Plus all other additional charges such as fleeing and trying to tamper with evidence. I mean, this is certainly capital murder, premeditated, and the death penalty would be what they would try to go for. This is crazy. And of all the DNA evidence, this dumb heifer is sitting here. I don't believe he pulled the trigger. She can't tell nobody who she think pulled the trigger. All this time, Candace can't say who she think pulled the trigger. So Tyler Robinson did it because he did it.
That Tyler Robinson, it was easy to tell. Everyone knows that he didn't do this. Why would they care? They know he's going to win. And the reason why is because they know he's going to lose. So they're trying to get the best sentencing possible for him. Court TV did a really great job summarizing how each side of this case is going right now. Tell me, after listening to the summary, which side sounds like they're winning more. It's very simple. They said this. They said the defense has repeatedly tried to limit media access, delay proceedings, disqualify prosecutors, and challenge evidence like videos and ballistics. Most of these have been denied or delayed. In other words, the defense is trying to throw everything out by any means necessary. Prosecutors have cited DNA evidence, surveillance, texts, and other forensics linking Robinson to the shooting. The prosecutors have also been trying to move the trial up, not delay it, which means they've got a good case to make. They're feeling very confident. And by the way, they've got a lot of public scrutiny on them. If they did not have a case, they would want to delay this for as long as possible so that they could get a really good case going. They're not wanting to do that. It's because they're ready to go. Anyone saying this is a conspiracy is not credible. They do not understand basic logic. They do not understand basic incentives. And if they do understand all of that, they're deliberately lying for views and cash, guys. I rely on public data to understand what's really happening in the country.
There we go. Yeah, oh man. So here's what I'm going to do. Because there's a couple of videos that I want to get in regarding the mic. We do have a couple of videos from Fax Me and from Chicks on the Right. So we'll do the watch party. Because tomorrow we'll have Ryan Moore with us. So we'll do the watch party on Thursday, on July 2nd. Okay? We'll do the watch party on July 2nd. Because I do want to, I have a live after this, and I do want to get, I want to get in this I know Fax Me debunked the exploding mic theory as well. And then Chicks on the Right did their video here. And this new Edie Marie video, Candace and Company. Oh, I want to see it. So if you guys want to, I know Bless God Studios did a video on Nick Fuentes. I just don't understand why he can't be consistent. Like, he'll say one thing to get some views and get people watching him, and then by next week he'll be saying something to defend Candace again. He's so damn shaky. So if you guys are good with that, hit the 4. We'll check out we'll do the watch party because it's an hour 45 minutes. And I know I've been pulling out a lot of good content here. Oh Lord have mercy. If y'all want to see Bless God Studios is his coverage on this Nick Fuentes crashing out on Candace. Like that's how many times has he crashed out on Candace? Nick Fuentes crashes out on Candace at least once a month. They have a love-hate relationship. Like, and I know No Reply sent, one of you all sent me this. From E.T. Because he's trying to grift off of this as well. Andrew Tate, I know who killed him. You know, it's just so crazy. Why not tell the authorities again? So if you know who did it, you don't want the bad guy in jail? Or now you punking out? So you rather just the bad guy let loose, but he's going to sit here and say, I know the bad guy though. I know who killed him, but I don't want to say. Because, you know, I'm afraid that something's going to happen to me. Don't you think, listen, People who do stuff like this, you know, for views and all. When you put it out there and indicate, okay, I know something y'all don't know, and it's only something that I know and the person who did it, right? They will see this idiot do this video and put out this statement. Wouldn't they go after him either way for even saying that he knows who did it? Because the idea is that if you know something that no one should know, then why would you alert people to knowing that information? Why would he say, I know who killed them, but then doesn't say who did it? Either way, the person that did it in your mind, in your alternate reality, is still coming for your ass. Simply because you said this. This is still talking too much. All these clowns are willing to do anything. You think Andrew Tate gave a damn about Charlie Kirk? Andrew Tate didn't care about Charlie Kirk or TPUSA. Oh my God. It's the buffoonery. And it's too dangerous to say. You know, dude's gonna come for you either way for just saying that much, you dumbass. Yeah, I know something that none of you know, but I can't say. Because they might come by my house tonight. Well, why would you even say you know who did it? You know, they still gonna be mad at you. They still gonna be mad at you. Oh my God. The niggas and not many of these people actually did it. Let's see. It's like logic goes over these people's heads. This moron is out here talking about, I know who did it, but it's too dangerous to say. Also, the bad guy is going to keep roaming the streets because of you. So you're withholding intentionally as well. Sounds like you're pulling the same cards out that Candace is pulling. I don't believe it was Tyler Robinson, but we're getting very close. Girl, if you don't shut your ass up. So he's a punk ass. Because he's just going to let a bad guy that knows how to shoot people just roam the streets. Because it's too dangerous to say, but somehow he just needed to let people know he know who did it, though. You dumbass. God.
Andrew Tate is once again at the center of controversy.
Yeah, he's an idiot. All right, moving on. That's enough. That's all I can take. Because he's a dumbass. He's doing this for attention and views. All to distract from the fact that he's been criminally charged. And suing and still trying to sue Milk Bar TV for what? For reporting on something that's available to the public. His criminal record. Dumbass. All right. This is Facts Me. The Mike didn't do it. Who is John Bray? This is a quick video. Full story. Let's get to it. Oh, it's like an action film.
On September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA and one of the most prominent conservative voices in America, was shot and killed at Utah Valley University while moderating a debate. Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old from the area, was arrested the following day. He has since been charged with aggravated murder. The prosecution is seeking the death penalty. The evidence against him, text message confessions to family members, his DNA on the rifle's trigger guard and cartridge casings, surveillance footage placing him at the scene before the shooting, and a spent casing recovered at the scene that matches the recovered weapon. 4 independent evidentiary chains, all pointing in the same direction. But in the weeks following Kirk's death, a different narrative began spreading across social media. One that required you to believe that all of that evidence, the confessions, the DNA, the surveillance, the ballistics, was either fabricated or irrelevant. Because Charlie Kirk, according to this narrative, wasn't shot at all. He was, according to an analyst named John Bray, killed by his own microphone. This is Facts Me, and today we are going to destroy this theory. Scientifically, completely, and without mercy. John Bray is a music producer, podcast host, and content creator. He runs what he describes as a music production club, offering production tutorials and wellness products to his subscribers. He is not a forensic scientist. He is not a licensed explosives expert. He has no documented background in ballistics, blast physics, wound trauma, or ordnance engineering. What he is someone who watched slow-motion video footage of Charlie Kirk being shot, created a visual overlay he calls an explosion mapping graphic, and concluded, on the basis of that graphic, that a shaped charge concealed inside Kirk's wireless microphone detonated and created the neck wound that killed him.
Hey, Diane.
This theory spread rapidly. It was amplified by Candace Owens, by Jimmy Dore, and by others in the alternative media space. It generated hundreds of thousands of shares. People believed it. Every single piece of science it relies on is wrong. Let's go through it. Here is the core of the John Bray exploding mic theory. First, he claims that frame-by-frame analysis of the shooting video shows the microphone moving before the visible injury. According to Bray, this sequence, mic movement, then necklace movement, then visible wound, suggests an explosive detonation sequence rather than a bullet impact. Second, he claims the wireless microphone transmitter Kirk was wearing could have been rigged as a shaped charge, specifically that the device's magnetic clasp and battery could function together as an improvised explosive device. Third, he claims the wound profile is more consistent with a shaped charge jet than with a bullet. Fourth, he claims there are audio anomalies in the live stream footage consistent with a nearby explosion rather than a distant gunshot. Each of these claims requires ignoring fundamental physics, chemistry, and forensic science. Let's take them apart, one by one. To understand why Bray's theory is scientifically impossible, you first need to understand what a shaped charge actually is and what it requires. A shaped charge is a precision explosive device designed to focus the energy of an explosion in a single direction. It is what you find inside anti-tank warheads. It is what military engineers use to breach hardened concrete. It is a weapon of war, not a consumer electronics component. For a shaped charge to work, it requires 4 essential components, none of which are optional. First, a primary explosive, a highly sensitive initiating compound, such as PETN or DDNP, that acts as the detonator. This triggers the main charge. Second, a secondary explosive, the main charge material. Typically RDX, C4, PETN, TNT, or a similar high-order explosive compound. This is the substance that does the actual destructive work. Without it, you have absolutely nothing. Third, a metal liner, traditionally a copper cone shaped at roughly 42 degrees, that is collapsed inward by the detonation wave into a high-velocity jet traveling at up to 8 kilometers per second. This is the Monroe effect. Discovered in 1888, refined over more than a century of military engineering, the geometry of this liner is not improvised. It is precision manufactured. Fourth, a precisely calculated standoff distance, typically 2 to 6 times the charge diameter, between the liner and the target. Without proper standoff, the jet doesn't form. Penetration fails. Now, let's look at what was actually on Charlie Kirk's chest. A compact wireless audio transmitter running on a small lithium-ion battery, approximately 180 to 250 milliamp hours at 3.7 volts, containing circuit boards, a radio transmitter, a microphone capsule, and a magnetic attachment clasp. It contains 0 explosive compound, not even trace amounts. It has no metal liner. It has no detonator. It has no trigger mechanism of any kind. It is a consumer electronics device designed to capture audio wirelessly. The magnetic clasp that Bray fixates on is a permanent magnet used for attaching the device to clothing. It is not a shaped liner. Permanent magnets do not detonate. They do not collapse into hypersonic jets when a battery cell fails. They hold your microphone to your shirt. When a lithium-ion battery fails catastrophically in a process called thermal runaway, it overheats, vents toxic gases, and can catch fire or eject burning electrolyte material. The result is burns, toxic exposure, and sometimes a small fire. The result is not, under any circumstances, a directed armor-penetrating explosive jet that cleanly enters and exits human tissue at the neck. Bray's theory requires you to believe that a consumer microphone battery can spontaneously generate the full function of a precision military ordnance device. It cannot. The laws of chemistry and physics make this categorically impossible. Even if we were to grant, which we are not, that someone had somehow concealed a true shaped charge inside a consumer microphone, the wound it would create would look nothing like what Kirk suffered. This is not speculation. This is decades of documented blast injury research, emergency medicine, and forensic pathology. When a shaped charge detonates in proximity to a human body, the injuries are catastrophic and unmistakable. The metal liner jet travels at several kilometers per second and creates a wound track that is high temperature, burning tissue as it penetrates. The skin at the entry point shows thermal damage, charring, scorching, sometimes complete ablation of the outer skin layers. This is unavoidable physics. A superheated metal jet moving at thousands of meters per second generates enormous heat. It burns what it touches. Additionally, shaped charge detonations produce primary blast wave injuries, overpressure damage to air-filled cavities, including the middle ear, the sinuses, and the lungs. Anyone within a meter of a shaped charge detonation would suffer ruptured eardrums at minimum. There would be visible blast injuries to other people in the immediate vicinity. They also produce secondary fragmentation injuries, shrapnel from the device casing, the liner material, and surrounding objects scattered into the wound track and surrounding tissue. Finally, they leave chemical residue. Every explosive compound, RDX, PETN, C4, TNT, leaves molecular signatures that are immediately detectable by standard forensic chemistry. A single swab from the wound site, from the clothing, or from the immediate area would identify explosive residue within minutes if a detonation had occurred. None of these signatures were present. No thermal burns at the wound entrance. No blast-related ear injuries in Kirk or in those near him. No fragmentation pattern, no explosive residue, no physical destruction of the microphone transmitter itself, which would have been completely obliterated by any detonation powerful enough to penetrate neck tissue from that distance. The absence of these signatures is not a gap in the evidence. It is itself evidence. Evidence of what did not happen. What the forensic record does show is a wound consistent with a high-velocity rifle projectile, entry wound dimensions consistent with ballistic trauma, a tissue damage pattern consistent with bullet behavior in tissue. The forensic picture matches a gunshot. It does not match a blast. Now let's talk about Bray's supposed proof, his video analysis.
You would think that these dumbass weirdos would just look this stuff up, right? Because a lot of this has a lot to do with science. You know, biology, human anatomy, physiology, characteristics of how human tissue would be, exploded outward and ripped if it were an explosive device, as opposed to a bullet entering, making a hole. Especially that is more perfectly circular to fit the shape of the bullet. How does human skin tissue somehow form a perfectly round circle from an explosive device? It defies science. But if they don't know what that looks like, why won't they just look this stuff up? Because Candace is not going to look this up for them. She doesn't read or research. She's a gossip blogger. You would think that they would just Google this and look at what a video of something explosive on some pig meat or something. Unbelievable how they defy science. And they refuse to watch a video and to read about this information as to how an explosive device affects human tissue. Oh, it's like Charlie Kirk just can't rest in peace, can he? Because Candace is like the devil. She's going to steal, kill, destroy, and create chaos and confusion along the way. And nothing more. Candace, you're like a plague to society. And you really think that we cared if you came back from Russia?
Bray's primary piece of evidence is his frame-by-frame analysis
hit that
of the
like
shooting
button.
footage. He claims the sequence of mic movement, necklace movement, then visible injury proves detonation occurred before impact. There are three fundamental problems with this analysis that destroy it entirely. Problem 1, video compression. The footage Bray analyzed is compressed live stream video, almost certainly H.264 encoded content delivered over a content delivery network at a reduced bit rate. These compression algorithms use temporal prediction to reduce file size. They do not describe every frame as a complete image. They describe changes from previous frames. At lower bit rates, this creates block artifacts, ghosting, and apparent motion in parts of the image that are not actually moving. What Bray describes as the microphone moving before the injury is almost certainly a compression artifact, not physical movement of the device. To establish actual physical motion sequence from compressed video, you would need uncompressed or losslessly compressed source footage, multiple synchronized camera angles with known frame capture timing, and sub-millisecond temporal resolution. John Bray has none of these. He has compressed live stream video and an overlay graphic he made himself. Problem 2, parallax and camera motion. The shooting was filmed from multiple positions at different distances. A distant camera capturing a wide shot introduces significant parallax error when analyzing small movements of objects on a person's body. Camera shake, even imperceptible at normal viewing, creates apparent movement of objects in the frame that is camera originated, not subject originated. Problem 3, normal mechanical physics. When a person is struck by any projectile, a bullet, a thrown object, anything, the mechanical shock transmits through the body structure. Objects attached to the body will move in response to that transmission. A microphone transmitter clipped to clothing, connected by a cable to a lavalier microphone on the collar, will exhibit complex mechanical motion in response to any sudden body impact. This does not indicate the mic caused the impact. It indicates the mic was attached to the person when the impact occurred. Bray's explosion mapping graphic is a visual overlay created by a music producer on compressed video. It is not a peer-reviewed forensic analysis. It has not been reviewed by forensic video analysts, ballistic engineers, or ordnance specialists. It is pattern matching on low-quality compressed video, which is one of the least reliable forms of analysis available to forensic science. And the audio anomaly claim fails just as completely. Live stream audio is captured on site, processed through a mixing board, compressed digitally, transmitted over a network, reprocessed by the streaming platform, and decoded by step in this chain introduces artifacts, compression distortion, and latency variation. The specific anomalies Bray references are almost certainly artifacts of this processing chain. Audio compression pops, digital clipping from sudden loud sounds, or acoustic signature of loud reaction. Furthermore, a shaped charge detonation at neck level would be extraordinarily loud, far louder than the crack of a distant. The audio record is consistent with a distant gunshot. It is not consistent with a close-range explosive detonation. After his initial theory gained traction, John Bray returned with what he described as testing of his hypothesis. He presented experiments intended to demonstrate that his theory was at least plausible. Examining his methodology reveals a textbook case of confirmation bias. Real scientific testing requires a falsifiable hypothesis, a test that could actually disprove the theory if the theory is wrong.
Here's the thing. What's going on, darling Nikki? All of those that came in here. I got your tag C4. I can't show that video in the live because it's graphic, but we got a new photo, y'all. But this is the thing. If they really wanted to just, read about this, it would kind of like, yeah, that would just solve the equation. Like they wouldn't be able to continue on with this if they were to look up information on what these types of devices do to the human body, especially having that close contact. And none of this, all this stuff that Candace is sitting out here pushing, whoever this John Bray is, none of this will come up in court. None of it. This is absolutely absurd. Candace, for every day you keep blaming Erica Kirk for the death of her own husband. That's just one more count. And one more statement of claim to list in her lawsuit against you. Why would we want Candace to stop talking? Oh, Candace, you're an idiot. You talked yourself right into a lawsuit. But you would think these morons like this John Bray and Mitch Snow would not be dumb enough to walk down that aisle with Candace and not care about the legal consequences. Now, there'll be another Mitch Snow dodging service from the U.S. Marshals. Because you just can't make this up. Oh, man. Mama Say said, don't forget to hit the like button, y'all. And we're on the road to 50,000 subs. 50,000 Luxes. Let's get there. Let's get there. I've been praying and pushing for that all year last year. This is the year for this to happen. And I believe it can. And I appreciate you all for your support. Subscribe if you have not. Hit that like button. We're hyping up these videos. Let's get the views up on this. John Bray, it's just way too much information out here. He could just do a simple Google search. See if he could tag me in a video in like 2 seconds. It's ridiculous. And they sit here and get mad though when they get named. He got these big old headphones on. What's going on with this? Is this a hat? Is this, what is this behind him? Where is he at? He in his mama's basement. Yeah, you can't make this up.
It requires controlled variables, changing only one element at a time to isolate cause and effect. It requires reproducibility, the ability for independent researchers to replicate the experiment under the same conditions and get the same results. And it requires peer review, subjecting the methodology and conclusions to scrutiny from qualified experts in the relevant fields. Bray's tests satisfy none of these criteria.
Yeah, I saw that.
His experiments were designed not to challenge the theory, but to find patterns that could be interpreted as consistent with it. When results were ambiguous, he called them confirmation. When they contradicted the theory, he adjusted the framework rather than questioning the hypothesis. This is not the scientific method. This is the definition of post hoc rationalization. He also incorporated what he calls the Butch, Hibbs, and Barron theory, layering additional speculative frameworks on top of an already unfalsifiable foundation. This is a well-documented pattern in conspiracy theory development. When a single claim begins to fail under scrutiny, the theory expands rather than contracts, absorbing new variables to protect the core narrative from falsification. Compare this to the actual investigative methodology in the Tyler Robinson case. FBI forensic teams processed the scene. ATF specialists conducted ballistics analysis. Independent forensic pathologists examined the wound. DNA analysts processed the recovered weapon. Each of these is a separate discipline with its own protocols, standards, and peer accountability, and all of them produced findings consistent with a rifle homicide. John Bray is not doing forensics, he is doing content. Now let's talk about what we actually know. Tyler Robinson has been charged with the aggravated murder of Charlie Kirk. The prosecution has assembled evidence from 4 completely independent investigative streams. Chain 1, Robinson's own words. He sent text messages to family members and a partner expressing his intent and admitting to the act. These are direct, documented confessions. Chain 2, biological evidence. DNA consistent with Robinson's profile was recovered from the trigger guard of the suspected rifle and from spent cartridge casings at the scene. DNA analysis is among the most reliable forensic tools in existence. The probability of a coincidental match is statistically negligible. Chain 3, surveillance footage. Robinson was captured by university and area surveillance cameras, arriving at Utah Valley University before the shooting. His presence, his movements, his timeline, all documented by independent camera systems with independent timestamps. Chain 4, ballistics. A spent casing recovered at the scene matches the suspected rifle. The ATF conducted the analysis. The match places the weapon at the position consistent with trajectory analysis, consistent with a sniper shot from elevation and distance. 4 independent chains, each one standing alone, ties Robinson to this crime with physical evidence. Together, they constitute an evidentiary picture that John Bray's microphone theory cannot explain, cannot address, and cannot compete with. Bray's theory offers this in exchange: a visual overlay on compressed video made by a music producer that he says shows movement he interprets as a detonation sequence. That's it. That is the entire competing theory. On one side, DNA, text confessions, surveillance footage, ballistic casing analysis. On the other, a graphics overlay from a music producer based on visual pattern matching of compressed live stream footage. On the basis of the evidence, the science, and the facts, here is the verdict on the John Bray exploding microphone theory. The theory is scientifically impossible. A consumer wireless microphone transmitter cannot function as a shaped charge.
Yeah, because science is still a thing here. Good grief. He's trying to sit here and get the attention of someone that does not believe dinosaurs roamed the earth. I mean, Candace believes that the earth is flat. Candace, I sure wish you would travel to the end of the planet and then jump off and see what happens. Yeah, just as a research experiment. Why don't you travel to the end of the earth, Candace, and then just jump? I mean, shouldn't, you believe in flat earth, shouldn't the oceans just go into a waterfall or something? How does gravity work with the earth being flat, Candace? How does that gravity happen? Well, our tides and our oceans are something else. Considering the fact that the earth is flat. It's amazing how water is not just flowing one way around the world. You can't make this stuff up.
It lacks the explosive compound, the metal liner, the initiation system, and the geometry required. This is not interpretation. This is chemistry and physics.
Thank you.
The theory is forensically contradicted. The wound is consistent with a gunshot and inconsistent with a blast injury.
Okay, Ashley.
There are no thermal burns, no blast overpressure injuries, no fragmentation pattern, and no explosive residue. All 4 of the signatures that would definitively identify a shaped charge detonation are absent. The video evidence is methodologically worthless. Compressed video cannot be reliably analyzed for subframe temporal sequencing. Every claimed movement pattern has multiple mundane explanations requiring no explosion whatsoever. And the actual evidence, DNA, confessions, surveillance footage, and ballistics, points unambiguously to Tyler Robinson and away from any alternative theory. John Bray is not a forensic scientist.
He's not.
He is not an explosives expert.
He's not enough.
He had no access to the uncompressed footage,
Nope.
the autopsy report,
Nope.
the forensic chemistry analysis,
Nope.
or the ballistics findings.
Not at all.
He watched a video, drew a graphic, and called it science. This is not a close call.
What a mockery. What a mockery to science. To those who actually take time to do reading and research, who went to school. What a mockery. It's like science only applies to them when it's convenient for them. You let something happen to John Bray. You don't think he would want the cops to come out and do some forensics, get some fingerprints, God forbid somebody breaking in his house or something and use a weapon? Rest assured, he's going to want investigators to come in, crime scene, unit to process, get fingerprints, DNA, do ballistics, gunshot residue tests. He's going to want all of that to catch the bad guy that came into his house and fired a weapon in his home. That's what you have to wonder with all these morons that's sitting around here believing every little word Candace said. No, let something happen with, God forbid, happen with them. See how fast they call 911 because, you know, they don't believe in the government, the feds, or nobody. But see how fast they call the police. See how fast they sit and ask for an autopsy report or a gunshot residue or do some DNA. Can't y'all do some fingerprint tests or something? Can y'all dust for fingerprints? Y'all gonna do some ballistic tests? Is there any DNA? There should be some DNA left behind. If they ever end up in a situation where something happens to them, they're gonna want police officers to come in and do all of that. Your family is gonna want all this done. The idea that you push aside science for views just to sound like a complete idiot, as if any of this would matter in court. None of the jurors are going to see his dumbass video and use it to make any determination on any ruling regarding Tyler Robinson murdering Charlie Kirk. They're not going to care about John Bray at all. He is insignificant in the court of law. The judge could care less that he exists. No jury is gonna watch his videos like, oh, this is concrete evidence. They're gonna be like, who the hell is this clown? They're not gonna care about him. They're gonna look at him and like, are we being punked? He looks like a broke back Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, don't he look like a broke down Ashton Kutcher? I mean, seriously. All I kept thinking about was that 70s show. Yeah. Every time I see this, every time his face comes up close, I'm like, that ain't Ashton Kutcher. He would get more views by trying to be an Ashton Kutcher lookalike than trying to go into something he knows nothing about, science. Just sounds like an idiot. Oh, it's the knockoff retarded version of that 70s show, y'all.
Mundane explanations requiring no explosion whatsoever. And the actual evidence, DNA, confessions, surveillance footage,
Jennifer.
and ballistics
You will not watch
points
this.
unambiguously to Tyler Robinson and away from any alternative theory. John Bray is not a forensic scientist. He is not an explosives expert. He had no access to the uncompressed footage, the autopsy report, the forensic chemistry analysis, or the ballistics findings. He watched a video, drew a graphic, and called it science. This is not a close call. This is not a matter of honest disagreement between competing interpretations of ambiguous evidence. This is a conspiracy theory built on scientific illiteracy, designed to cast doubt on a clear evidentiary record at the expense of truth, and at the expense of the family of a man who was murdered. The microphone didn't do it. 4 independent chains of real evidence say Tyler Robinson did. The laws of physics say a microphone battery cannot kill anyone with a shaped charge, because it is not a shaped charge and it never could be. That is the verdict. Debunked. Completely. Scientifically. Without mercy. I'm Stephen Lancaster. This is Facts Me, where we educate, not fabricate. If this investigation showed you something, hit like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share this with everyone who has been sharing that theory. They need to see the science, because the truth matters.
Exactly.
And now you know it.
Candace, your cult members are getting dumber. The candy asses are getting dumber and dumber by the day. Lord have mercy. You just can't make this up. Hey, y'all, we're going to skip down to, I want to check out this Edie Marie. Y'all say hello to Edie Marie. We're going to be doing a collab with Edie on July 3rd. If you all can, make sure you guys tune in. It is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm excited. Tomorrow we'll be collabing with Ryan Morrow. July 3rd, Edie. July 5th, Fax Me. July 6th, we will have Johnny Walker Dread and more to come. Definitely going to let Jen and Gary know that if they want to collab for next month, we are open to doing it. I'm just excited. But all the great information that they're going to be bringing here, the fun we're going to have with Edie, y'all, we're going to be showing our anger management session. I'm excited. So if you guys haven't seen the snippet of it, make sure you check it out on my channel on the videos. It's just a quick snippet, just a taste of the anger management that we recorded, I think, last month. Because we pretty much chilled out here in the LLC for the month of June. So it was back up in May. And make sure you guys check that out. And the reason why I'm just going to go ahead and show this, and then we're going to switch over to the next live stream, because I got to work in the morning, and I'm excited about Ryan Morrow tomorrow. And so, let's not forget this. Let me show this one right quick. This crap right here.
Candace Owens, you're
why is Sean Ryan? And I left a comment on, tagged him in it about why are you having this heifer on your show? You didn't even fact check what lie she claiming Erica Kirk told with evidence. Did you ask why would she withhold photos or withhold evidence? I left that comment on X because it's disgraceful to just. I can't stand it when people do it for Umar, the Oompa Loompa. It is absolutely disgraceful to bring a pathological liar to your platform and you expect your supporters to be cool with that. And she still presents zero evidence and you don't fact check her at all. And you call yourself an independent journalist. You are insulting all journalists out there, including myself, by failing to fact check this heifer. Ask basic questions. No pushback, no nothing. I'm gonna be honest, I was never subscribed to Sean Ryan. I like the interview with Brian Harper. Now I wish Brian Harper would have never went over there, because he turned around, he brought this clown on. I don't keep up with Megyn Kelly like that, because she's just she's like a older knockoff version of Candace at this point. But to bring Candace on, knowing that she's gonna go on here and drag Erica Kirk, and you claim to be friends with Charlie Kirk? It's like, dude, you don't have to be this damn desperate. It's stupid. Your desperation is flat out stupid and it lacks logic. I don't get it. I don't get it. What point is he trying to prove? What point is he trying to prove? And I left a comment. One of y'all tag me. Hold on, let me show y'all. Because I'm like, man, this is embarrassing as hell. You calling yourself a was it the one? I think it was the one here on S-Files. Yeah, see, I tagged him and his show. Did you even think to fact check Candace in real time? What evidence did she produce to prove Erica Kirk lied? Do not get sloppy with journalism by allowing pathological liars on your show with zero accountability. Why did she withhold evidence? I don't care how he feels. It's an insult to consider yourself a journalist and you don't demand any evidence. No pushback, no nothing. no accountability, not even tough questions. The hell you mean? And this heifer admitted to sitting on evidence. I don't care if she sat on it for 20 minutes or 20 days. Why are you sitting on it? It's the same thing with Andrew Tate. Why are you sitting here saying you know who did it, but you can't say it? Don't even put it out there that you know who did it, you dumbass. Can't hold water. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's so stupid. It's like a slap in the face. It's like a slap in the face. And you call yourself a journalist? We all know Candace lies like hell. Where are the receipts at from these transactions? From the French president to Club Bustamante? Because I can guarantee you he didn't ask about that at all. He's not going to ask for any receipts. Now, can you show proof of these transactions? You said somebody, high-ranking French government employee, told you they saw transactions being made through Club Bustamante for your assassination for like $1.9 million or some shit. Where are the proof of those transactions? Did you ask them to do a print screenshot? So you didn't ask them to print out none of these transactions? Not even take a picture of a computer screen? You didn't demand that they email you right then and there? Who is this high-ranking French government employee again? And why would a high-ranking French government employee call you? Not the embassy, not the feds, not CIA. They didn't call any of that. They called you. And you did not file a complaint to the FBI. See, questions like that. I can guarantee you she would not have even went on his bum-ass show. And this moron. Oh, he's so stupid. You're going to let this pathological liar just come on after lying about having an assassination attempt on her life where she could easily be questioned and said, here's an opportunity to produce this evidence, this evidence, this evidence, this evidence. Like, give us the name of the person that called you. Who called you? So the high-ranking French government employee couldn't contact the CIA or the FBI or the White House. No, they call you directly. You can't even say who they are. You didn't ask them to send you an email or e-fax of any of these so-called transactions, but they saw them. They saw the transactions. What were they looking at? A laptop, their phone, a piece of paper? They didn't take a photo? Okay. It's just an insult to all of our intelligence. And this idiot had her on his show. Lord. It's the stupidity for me. What a damn video at? I just had it. Candace Owens fans starting to notice that she's just recycling old Charlie Kirk conspiracies from other YouTubers. Didn't I say y'all she's gonna do? Hold on.
Road mic.
Didn't I tell you?
Okay, so the list of things.
Then next week she might talk about the Egyptian planes. Didn't I say this? What? I've been saying this for how many months? All Candace Owens does is recycle her old conspiracy theories. That's all she does. Fort Huachuca gonna come up again at some point because she doesn't care. And I'm like, man, Sean Ryan interviewed Brian Harper, and he has a federal lawsuit against Candace. And then you bring that heifer on your show, and for what? Because she didn't produce any evidence or documentation. And then the candy asses, y'all just not figuring out she's recycling conspiracy theories when I've been saying this for months.
That are suddenly beginning to make a whole lot of sense when you consider the increasingly plausible scenario that it was indeed Charlie's road mic, which was rigged to kill him, is growing. The list is growing. Now, I had asked a question last week, and gratefully someone pointed out to me that Baron Coleman had already furnished the answer to it, as well as other people, a long time ago, actually, in his early days of covering the case. I just wasn't following Baron back then. And also, I maintain that I was in a real state of shock and grief, and I was not processing.
You're not processing anything. You're not even reading, Candace. You know that you're lying. And I know that you're going to be recycling these dumbass conspiracy theories. So here's a possible lineup until she goes to court. Because you have court on July 27th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take your bum ass to court. We're probably going to hear about the Egyptian planes again, most likely. And then that'll tie into Fort Huachuca again. She's not going to say anything about Mitch Snow dodging service and quite possibly having a default judgment entered against him. Nor will she even explain why she refuses to at least get him an attorney. Or what happened with the money that was raised on Save Go Now. Is that money still there? Candace, did you ever match dollar for dollar the money raised on that Save Go Now? Because I don't think you did. I mean, why would grifters give money into their own scam? Then it's going to go back to when she visited Israel. And then something, somebody's relative, something, Israel wall. Then she's going to go back to the Epstein files. Y'all following me here? And then the Epstein files is going to go back to something dealing with Erica Kirk. Because she's disgusting. Candace Owens is. And then, you know, we're going to be back at Fort Huachuca with the base again. And how, you know, I can't believe no one believes me when I say that she probably was there. And it's just going to go in circles. Then she'll say something about having her followed even more. That's going to be kind of like the pattern from now to July 27th. What's the court? 27th.
Information as usual. There was so much coming in, so many questions, so many things for me to respond to, recognizing that I was suddenly going to be.
She's going to be ignoring all of that.
At war with Turning Point USA on top of my grief. Okay.
You're not at war. No. They haven't sued you yet, Candace, and they will win, you dumbass. Can't make this up. Oh, Lord. Let's get to this dumb video. Y'all tagged me. Y'all wanted to see it. Is this the video? This is just a photo. What the hell? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Candace Owens, you're a political commentator, author, and independent journalist known for challenging mainstream narratives and tackling controversial issues. Over the past decade, you've become one of the most influential voices in all of media, building a massive audience through your commentary and investigative reporting.
And I have Candace Owens claiming I
not
murdered
gotten
my
this
husband.
$7,000.
Today, through your independent platform.
Listen, can we get Sean Ryan to send me the $7,000? Maybe he'll give me the money. Time is running out. I want to be able to take my kids to Universal Studios before July ends. For 2 good weeks. $7,000, but it'll be a 2-week vacation. Oh, man. No, actually, yeah, that's a good week. That's a good week. Good week. Yep. All we need is a good week. $7,000.
You continue to cover politics, culture, and current events while questioning official narrative.
I should do a Save Go Now for that. And I'm gonna tag Candace in it. You got your bum ass candy ass cult members to give Mitch Snow $140,000 plus $1,000, $7,000 until Israel pays you back, and however that's gonna go should not be a big deal.
And sparking national debate.
I always try to approach things with just what do I observe with my own eyes. And when I brought myself to being able to watch the footage of Charlie dying, the first thing I thought was that he was shot from below. I watched the friction of his body and I saw that his necklace broke.
No, her first instinct was to not cry. It was to see if the shot was coming from below. It's not, oh my God, what did I just see? What in the world did I just see? Did you see this? George? What is it there? I'm in the closet. Because George doesn't care. He hasn't said a word. When did George Farmer offer any condolences to Erica Kirk or TPUSA? Because Candace sure has not. When has George Farmer offered any condolences with your evil ass? George Farmer, you don't think people know that you evil as hell? Like, we know you evil as hell up in the LLC. We know that. You know, it's not a shocker that he has never offered even a condolence of any sort to Erica Kirk, the kids, or TPUSA at all. George, are you big mad because you got fired? You and your dumb lavender wife are sitting here being scorned because y'all big mad. You couldn't take over. No. Y'all notice that his little evil ass has not ever offered his condolences at all. I haven't seen, heard anything at all of George Farmer saying, I just want to offer my condolences to Charlie Kirk and his wife and 2 children that he left behind, and to all of TPUSA. George Farmer has never even offered his condolences. Him and Candace are acting like scorned women. Literally.
Broke before he was hit. I always thought that was so strange. I was like, somebody explain to me why if someone shot him from above, his necklace would break first and whip this way, and then he gets hit. What happened was we got exclusively the car photos, the car that transported Charlie to the hospital. When I saw the car pics, first thing I said was, oh, that's so weird. Like, well, why is there black glass on the floor?
Yeah, no, she's not crying at all. She never looks out. The first thing I did was I broke down, man. I just saw blood and bodily fluids. I was like, oh my God, I have to see this again. Like, you know, no. Oh, it's so weird. Why is it black glass? What do you mean? Jesus. Candace, you are stupid. You are the weakest link.
Tyler Robinson is the name that, according to multiple sources, is the suspect who is in custody.
Who is Tyler Robinson? What the fuck was he doing there?
I don't
Do you think
Tyler Robinson was there. I feel confident stating that Tyler Robinson did not.
Why would you feel confident in saying that? But you can't tell us how much you paid him. You told that boy you will never see inside of jail. Don't worry. They will never catch you. You know, there was a manhunt for him for like 45 minutes to an hour. It had drones out. I've seen the drone footage. They had drones out looking for him. UVU have their own drones. See, that's how I learned they had drones.
Oh, Charlie Kirk.
This is embarrassing.
Family works, and that's the most. What are we conserving at the end of the day is the question. And to me, it's traditional families. I think that's our best guard against the government. I'm a grown adult woman. I know what I'm saying.
No, you don't. You're an alien repeating words that you've heard humans say. I'm a grown adult woman. I know what I'm saying. It's like she's trying to convince us that she's made of flesh and bone. There's nothing you can say to convince me that you're a human being. You know, you're not warm-blooded. You don't have a soul or a heart or a brain. You've already said you're an alien. We said we would go with that. Stop trying to convince us that you are a human being. You're not. Like, it's, you know, she oozes, you know, windshield wiper fluid. I mean, this is not a real person we're talking about here. You cannot be this evil and this much of a pathological liar to where your own relatives have to come out and basically say, you owe us an apology for what you said about our grandparents, because you own some other shit. But yet they don't hold her accountable for all the other lies, the millions of lies she's told about everything else. Unbelievable.
And Dave Rubin was messaging me, and it's just full-blown gaslighting. And I stood firm on it and was like, no, I know what I wrote. and I meant every word of it.
Friday morning, the Daily Wire CEO, Jeremy Boring, posted on X, quote, Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship.
One thing I wasn't expecting to hear today is a thank you to the Daily Wire from Candace Owens.
I owe them so much.
I can't believe the shit they pulled with Brett Cooper.
I don't like what Reagan did, but these were two young girls and they were best friends, and it was just a maniacal homosexual man doing this.
Two dumb girls? Did she say two dumb girls? So she called Brett Cooper a dumb girl? Candace gossips like a 14-year-old high school mean girl that never made the cheerleading squad, you know, because she's an idiot and her best dance is the Adderall dance. Just wave it all away and then wave it down to the floor and then wave it up in the air. That's how you do the Adderall dance. Candace, you dumb demon.
Because he wanted Brett to suffer. This was the biggest lie that Erica told me and completely transformed.
Did I say two dumb girls? You can't make this stuff up.
And meant every word of it.
Friday morning, the Daily Wire CEO, Jeremy Boring, posted on X, quote, Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship.
Like a demon.
One thing I wasn't expecting to hear today is a thank you to the Daily Wire from Candace Owens.
I owe them so much.
I can't believe the shit they pulled with Brett Cooper.
I don't like what Reagan did, but these were two young girls and they were best friends.
Did I hear these are two dumb girls and they were best friends? Ah, did you know Brett Cooper is shorter than the other one? And one of them have blonde hair and the other's a brunette. These are dumb girls. They're so dumb. Like, what are you saying, girl? You're calling Brett Cooper a dumb girl. I thought you were friends. I guess Brett Cooper realized Candace is full of shit. Did she have a realization as well? Brett Cooper, Candace called you a dumb girl. Just as an FYI. It came out of her mouth, not mine.
And it was just a maniacal homosexual man doing this because he wanted Brett to suffer. This was the biggest lie that Erica told me and completely transformed my opinion of her.
Do you think that she had something?
What was the lie? Because, you know, where's the evidence of this lie? Candace just saying it was a lie means nothing. She's a pathological liar whose own relative had to call her out on a podcast to show about her lying about her grandparents. See, I'm very intentional. There's a reason why we saw that video. And this dumbass couldn't even just fact check her on that. What lie? Show evidence of it. You have to prove someone lied. That comes with documentation. You just calling people liars is irrelevant. No one cares about your opinion.
Do with it, she was complicit, or do you think that, she just saw a paycheck?
Hey guys, it's Candace Owens. You can watch my episode with Sean Ryan on Vigilance Elite Patreon. The person that I think I placed stock in was Trump. And we got played. I mean, there's no
controversy. Candace, I told you all. When you're flowing out, when you're sitting here trying to get information and intel from what's going on in the White House, and then you go to Russia, Candace, they see you as a useful idiot. You can't even pronounce simple English terms that have no more than 2 syllables. And then once you've told them all the intel they want to know, because they want to destabilize the United States from within, they will get rid of you. Hopefully they just keep your ass over there and then do whatever.
For Kanye West, also known as Ye, he's been locked out of his Twitter account now. The platform suspending him after an anti-Semitic tweet. That tweet said, quote, "When I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people."
Kanye, he notoriously tweeted that he was going to go DEFCON 3 on some Jewish people that had been toying with his life. And nobody cared when he dropped the actual text messages from his trainer, Harley Pasternak, saying that he would put him back in the hospital and he'd never be able to see his kids again.
You just said, it matters to us and you. It doesn't matter what the internet says.
He shared the message that Harley Pasternak wrote to him, and he said, here's how it's going to go. Maybe he said, you're going to say sorry or something. And then the message reads, or we'll take you back to, I think he described it as La La Land, and play dates with your kids will never be the same. We'll drug you out of your minds. It's in writing. I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't there when he tweeted it. I wasn't with him, but because I was friends with him.
No, you weren't. Because see, you lied about him creating a logo and he wasn't playing it and he cut you off. Because he didn't appreciate you lying on him about a logo. And the way he communicates is by yelling at everybody. And he's supposed to be a grown-ass man. Go figure. How, Sway? You don't have the answer, Sway. He's sitting here yelling at, who was this? That his mother-in-law? Once upon a time? Can't make this stuff up. So you yelling at your kid's grandmother on national television. And then you want to talk about the exposure they had with their mother. Not saying it's all positive, but you yelling at their grandmother does not look good either. But this is the hypocritical bullshit that they didn't never want to touch on that.
This was like the cancellation of Kanye. They were putting pressure on me to make a statement about him. I refused to do it. I lost millions of guaranteed dollars. And they basically were like, you
should have. You lied on him about creating a logo for Brexit that you ran in the ground within 3 years. And then wanted him to buy Parler from George Farmer. And George Farmer's parents are billionaires. Why didn't George Farmer's parents buy Brexit or Parler? Funny how George Farmer's parents do not own Brexit or Parler Inc. Did y'all know that? They're nice. Why won't you ask your father-in-law to buy Brexit from TPUSA and to take over Parler Inc. Or put money in it? Get Parler back up pumping again since you hate everything else. Then you can go move to Russia and have your own little gossipy platform. Y'all notice this? George Farmer's parents are billionaires. They could easily purchase Parler Inc. They could have purchased Brexit, but they didn't. And that should tell you something. For all the things that they could have acquired, they did not acquire Brexit or Parler Inc. They were wanting Kanye West to purchase Parler Inc. and TPUSA acquired Brexit to help Candace out. But George Farmer's parents, who are billionaires, probably looked at that and said, no. George, we told you no once before. Do not ask us to buy this bullshit again. How dare you? You married the dummy girl. I know George Farmer's dad has got to be sitting around saying that the moment I see John Mappin, I'm whooping his ass. John Mappin introduced us to You know, George Farmer's dad has got to be so mad. Oh, he got to be sitting around brooding. John Mappin, I hope he buns in hell. Or wherever Xenu is. May he catch all the things from Scientology. Stupid cult. Candace. What's his name? Lord? What's his name? First name. I don't call him no Lord. George Farmer's daddy. Let's just say George Sr. for right now. Farmer Sr. has got to be cursing the day your ass landed in the UK to meet his son. Cuss the dead. Michael Farmer is sitting around. Cuss the dead. John Mappin thought that it was a good idea for you to marry that heifer. I watched Lady Luck Club today. She called her a heifer, and I laughed. Candace, your in-laws are watching me. You girl, you're so stupid. Michael Farmer was like, I am not buying Blexit or Paula Inc. It's my son's failure. Just write it off as a tax deductible, son, and move on. No, I'm not buying it. Neither is Kanye. He's not going to buy that. What's wrong with you? Candace, you're such a failure. You don't even realize it. And this little dummy girl sitting here wearing these man shoes. Why you keep wearing men's shoes?
You could just say a statement about Kanye and do it.
Did you get fired or did you quit?
I got fired. The stage was built, remember? And it was a production. They put together a video.
15 minutes ago, the Daily Wire terminated its relationship with Candace Owens.
Candace, we enjoyed the hell out of this video. I want you to know that. We had a whole watch party on this. It was fun. And watching them fire your ass. Yeah. George Farmer's mother is going to still whoop your ass when she see you. You gave her son a black eye. Sean Ryan didn't ask about that. How did George get a black eye? Because he was walking around the airport. He saw, like, he knows that he's married to you, right? He's walking in the airport with you, and he's got a black eye. You don't think that would cause a lot of questions to be raised? He had a black eye. You whooping his ass? You going to jail, girl.
Candace has been an incredibly powerful voice for conservatives for years.
Why?
Unfortunately, it's become more and more clear, and it's now unavoidably so, that Candace has moved in a direction that the Daily Wire simply cannot and will not support.
What scares me more is considering the world that our children.
Candace, it's summertime. Why the hell you got on the black turtleneck? This is not how you hide a pregnancy. I can still see your bump. Now, she pregnant as hell in the video. Y'all know that, right? And she trying to make it seem like we didn't know or she didn't know. I learned from you all. Why the hell you sitting like this wearing this black turtleneck? Where the sleeves still don't come down to your wrist? Y'all see the position she's sitting in? She's trying to hide her belly. Candace hid her pregnancy. And then it's like, I learned from the internet that I was pregnant. The hell you say? Candace, you lying like hell.
Will inherit if we stay quiet. And you have a bunch of people who, whether it's for money or for fear, are allowing it to happen. And there are so many historical lessons.
Who sits like this? There's no way she sat like this the whole time. You know, it was pre-scripted, pre-recorded. I'm sure they let her get up, take breaks. She had to go to the bathroom 6 times. Like, there's nowhere in the world you sat like this the entire interview. Nowhere in hell. I mean, if you're pregnant, that's the last position you want to sit in for a whole, hour or so? I'm not sitting like this with my legs crossed. Y'all look at her belly. Candace, you are actually deliberately trying to hide your belly, you dumbass. Like, Candace, it's obvious you're pregnant. Oh, my God. She's trying to keep Yeasty from escaping.
About what can happen to a country when good men do nothing.
Y'all right in spell that yeast infection oozing out of she power scared. had to open, like uncross and switch over legs. Yeah, did you have to spray Lysol every time you shifted? Don't mind the smell. It's been with me for years. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Ain't no way in the hell we like, well, we are not watching that interview. No, don't you ask. We know she gonna lie. Only way we watch it, y'all got to hit the like button on this. This video need to get like 5,000 views. I ain't lying. This video got to get 5,000 views for us to have a watch party on Sean Ryan's bullshit. Because he know he wrong for that. She hiding the pregnancy. That's what I'm saying, Tracy. Why did she hide it? Was she waiting for tests to come back? If the test results were not good, would she have terminated the pregnancy? Who knows? But you can clearly tell that the way she's sitting, which is not even normal. Like, nobody sits like this. You sitting in the chair with your legs crossed like that. Child boo. Clearly you're pregnant. And she knew she was pregnant when she did this interview. She's the one saying that she is pregnant with a boy, which means that you have to be at least 20 weeks gestation to find out the sex of the baby. Unless you have some sort of issue going on where they have to do, an amniocentesis test where they got to pull amniotic fluid out and then they can test it from there. But otherwise, child boo, you wait, find out once you hit about 20 some odd weeks in gestation where the baby sex can be determined basically through the ultrasound. So she was pregnant here. They did this interview, just last month? And she talking about she found out from the internet. No, the hell you didn't. Did somebody say she going to Spain? Candace, you keep getting on these flights. You keep flying around. And you pregnant, you in your third trimester probably. Going into your third trimester and you still catching flights to go around the world to other countries. Why? You understand the stress that puts on the baby? Going there up there in that altitude like that. They don't even like for you to fly when you're in your third trimester. What you trying to do? Spontaneously combust or abort? What are you trying to do, Candace? Clearly, she ain't happy about being pregnant. Candace is not happy about that. When you sit here and procreate with the devil, then, that's your fault. Meanwhile, George could care less. He's like, whatever, I don't care. He's probably shocked that the IVF worked. You mean beyond all that bread baking, somehow a baby stuck. Wow. Yeah, you can kiss my ass. All right, y'all. We're going in here because I want to get to the next live and got to get to bed at a reasonable time tonight. So here's where we're going to leave it. Thank y'all so much. Let's get the supers in. Oh, Lord have mercy. Jesus. Shout out to Amy for the $4.99 super. Thank you so much. March on for the $20 super. Hola, Miss LLC y Familia Luxters. This Candace from the planet Xenu is so escrosa. She talks like a crow fighting for a piece of bread. Oh, that chicken song comes to mind. Actually nailed that one. I ain't lying. Thank you so much, Marshall, for the $20 super. Shout out to McKenzie for becoming a new member up in here. Thank you so much for your support. And Heather Rose becoming a member again, renewing her membership. And then Tracy been giving out 5 LLC memberships. If you guys receive the membership, make sure you give a hearty thank you. And shout out to Tracy for the memberships. And thank you so much, all of you, for supporting us here in the Lady Luck Club. We're on the road to 50,000 Luxters. Let's pack the house, get the subscribers up, share this content, share the lives. We got to have some fun at some point because Candace is a dumb demon in this. Other than her returning to hell to most we can do is laugh right now. I can't take her serious. And Sean Ryan, wow, you are an embarrassment to anything considered to be journalism. No fact checking. You just sitting here gossiping along with her dumb ass. Can't make this stop. You're a grown man. You're a grown man. You sound like a clown, Sean Ryan. What's the biggest lie she ever tell you? Oh no, it's like they, did you get fired? You know she got fired. You've seen the video. These questions are stupid. He asked her stuff he already knew the answer to. Makes no sense. So if you want to do a watch party on that nonsense, make sure you all hit the like button so Tildak can go and have attitude. Hey, boy, Tildak, are you a boy or girl? Please understand, I could care less what you think or feel. You know that, right? I don't give a damn about bots and cult members and how they think or feel. I don't. I'm not here for that. They all they can do is say uneducated. Use words they can't define. Tell your cult leader we're still waiting on receipts of transactions from Club Bustamante. Once she conquers English and simple math, she needs to produce those receipts. Or else she's still lying on a whole country. And boy, they're going to sue the crap out of her. Oh, that's right. They already are. They're going to win. I appreciate you all. Thank y'all so much. And if you could join me in the next live stream, please do. If not, we're going to be at it tomorrow with Ryan Morrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For all the mods that can be here, please do be here to help. We're not doing the dumbasses up in the chat. Like I said, they have nothing new to add. It's a copy and paste. They say the same shit because they're stupid. And bots are bots. So, how many times we see comments like this? Tildak is not saying anything new or profound. Stuff like this is what I want out the chat tomorrow because we have the right to not read their bullshit. And if you can't add anything to the chat that's, noteworthy or ask questions or give commentary, that would, move it along. I could care less. So 8 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, Ryan Morrow. Come with questions. Come with your comments. They're ready to go. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. And until then, Lady Luck Club out. Till that, kick rocks. All right. Deuces.